And ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Sundrinch Father Murphy Memorial Park here in Newmarket and Fergus for another county final day produced by Clare GATV. And we have the Callaghans Mills are taking on Kilmaley in the Junior A hurling final. I suppose two teams that many would have expected at the very start of the season would be in contention for this competition. Both of them have been bridesmaids in the last 4 or 5 years between contention semi-finals and finals. And joining me today are Pádraig McMahon, fresh from his excellent display in the Senior B hurling final for Newmarket against Clonlarry yesterday, and multi-winning manager John O'Meara from 600 Bridge, who's taken this year off, but he'll probably be back with someone next year. Pádraig, I suppose, an interesting tussle now between two teams where you would have expected would be here.
Definitely, as you say, Michael, the two perennial bridesmaids of the Clare Junior A Hurling Championship, Kilmaley and the Mills, the two teams you'd have expected to get to the final. So hopefully we're going to get a good game. Obviously Kilmaley managed by former Clare senior hurler Conor Clancy, and the Mills managed by Kevin Salmon, who has experience of managing teams in the Clare Senior Hurling Championship. So poised to be a good game. We see some of the supporters are around. They're going to anticipate a good game, and these are the two teams we expected would be in the Junior A hurling final. They've been thereabouts knocking for the last couple of years, so hopefully we'll get a game that lives up to that.
I suppose, Pádraig, now that you have 200 people here, 200 people in your market will make plenty of noise.
Yeah, well, people from Kilmaley and the Mills will always make noise wherever they go, so I could see some people are finding different routes to get in, so security are being tested. But yeah, it's a big day. The Mills, like we see, they won the Minor B last night. They're in the senior final next weekend. So the club is on a crest of a wave. 12 months ago they were at risk of being down in intermediate, and now they've turned it around, and they're in an unbelievable position to capitalise on this. So they have the momentum. I suppose Kilmaley haven't had the best year looking at their senior team, so this will be a very good way for them to finish off the season.
And John, I suppose you did a bit of homework, I suppose, last night on the two teams. And I suppose they're two teams that have plenty of talent coming up and established senior players that might be taking a step down.
Yeah, I suppose, look, two very evenly matched teams. I suppose we had, Mills have been in 3 of the last 4 finals. Kilmaley were beaten in the final last year. Both teams are the club's second teams, and they'll be hoping to get up to intermediate. Like you saw yesterday, the Mills winning the Minor B. Kilmaley have had a lot of young players coming through over the last number of years, and clubs would see it as a stepping stone to producing senior hurlers, and I think we're in for a real tight game today. Both teams will want to atone for the recent final defeats.
I suppose we discussed there, the Kilmaley got over Crusheen in the semi-final, and I suppose you possibly not running down Kilmaley's efforts, but maybe the Mills had a tougher run to the final.
Yeah, possibly. I suppose. Look, like if we look at the Mills en route to the final, they beat Clooney in the semi-final. They got over Ogunlo in the quarter, and they beat Bradford after extra time in the first round. And I suppose en route to the final, they've scored an average of 26 points a game, which is big scoring, while conceding, only 19. And I suppose they hit 10 goals en route to the final, whereas Kilmaley have only hit 3. Kilmaley's averages would be, scoring 21 points a day and conceding 17. So, if we look at the paths to the final, it's probably all pointing to Mills' victory. But I'm sure Kilmaley will be hoping to change that.
As you said, there's a couple of strong players on both sides. That we've the good underage players on both sides, and strong players with senior experience.
Yeah, like if we look at the Mills, I suppose like Adrian Flaherty, Adrian Donovan, John Cooney would all have played senior, and they'll be looking to the likes of Barry Heffron and then Cathal Linehan, and Ian Donlan to get him over the line. Kilmaley, I suppose, are that little bit younger. Martin O'Connor and Darren McMahon would be the experienced lads, and two minors midfield in Sean Crowley and Sean Ronan. So there isn't going to be much in it, but I do think we're in for a cracker.
I suppose you have been involved now in a lot of successes with 600 Bridge. I think perhaps was there 1 year or so that you might have done the double, or was it in recent times? But it does tell for the likes of Mills that they're, as Pádraig has alluded to a couple of minutes ago, that when every team is rising, it's very good for a club.
Oh yeah, look, a rising tide lifts all boats, and like the Mills won the minor yesterday, that's going to be a plus for today. Like if they win then today, that's going to be a plus again for next Sunday. Like you'll often see, I've seen it numerous years in the Bridge, like you might have, at the end of the business end of the year, you might have 3 finals on the one weekend. If you lose one, you often lose the 3.
The Mills team, where you have number 17 Darren Cooney coming in for Ronan Kelly, and you have Jamie Keane coming in for Shankry, and 2 decent players. Is there any possible matchups here that you could look at? Because it looks, unlike a senior game that that John O'Mara will be setting out in the senior team. It'd be magical mystery to go with the programme. But in a normal, I suppose, what would the major matchups be in this one?
Yeah, I think midfield, as John has said, is going to be a big battle. Very young, pacey midfield. Sean Ronan, who Fergal Lynch said last year is one of the greatest stickmen in the county, playing at midfield with Sean Crowley, who plays his football with Kilmaley. So they're very pacey. John Cooney and Christy Philposh, they'd have, I suppose, a bit more experience. They wouldn't be as lively. So if Kilmaley can win, I think that is a key battleground to win. Also, Adrian Flaherty has probably been the best player in the Junior A Championship for the last half a decade, and he's at centre back on John Clahassy, who'd be another experienced player. But I think Éanna McMahon at full forward for Kilmaley is one to watch. If he can get pumped, he's pumped with his supply of ball. He'd take on Adrian Donovan, and goals are going to be crucial. I'm looking there at Henry Skehan just practicing a few puckouts, like he's hitting the half forward line, so that's going to be targeting Barry Heffernan, Cathal Lenihan, and then like just saying there, Jamie Keane is in. Jamie Keane is a goal scorer. Like he's very, he's going to be difficult to handle. But Kilmaley have Sean Talty, a very sticky cornerback, and Martin O'Connor at full back. So very difficult to call in that regard, but I think midfield is the key one, and then you'd have John Clahassy on Flaherty and Éanna McMahon at full forward for Kilmaley. If he can win the battle with Adrian Donovan, I think that'd be a crucial one.
Again, Peter Ronan is a decent corner forward as well.
Exactly, yeah. Kilmaley have a lot of talent here, very pacey as well from watching their warm-up. But I think an important thing to mention as well with the Mills is they've been training with their senior team, and there's been a lot of praise for Donach O'Donnell, who's come in as the Mills senior manager. So when they're training at that high level, whereas Kilmaley haven't been able to train with their senior team for the last couple of weeks, so the Mills are coming in at a very high level for this game, which is going to be a big boost to them.
I suppose conditions here, Pádraig, are absolutely frighteningly good. I mean, we often joke about junior teams not being as fit as they are, but junior teams now are as fit as senior teams were 10 years ago.
Well, definitely, and then I suppose with various restrictions and stuff, lads have had a lot more time to train, a lot more time to run. There's been a lot more emphasis on getting to go train and to do something. So yeah, looking at the two teams, they're in very good nick, and a lot of minors. Like I think very wise from Kilmaley's perspective to leave Sean Ronan with the junior A's. Like as John said, it is their second team, and when he's getting 60 minutes here for Kilmaley week in week out, it's much more beneficial, I would think, than maybe a 5-minute cameo for the seniors, and he mightn't touch the ball twice. So
it'll stand to him long term for next year. And the senior management of Kilmaley, who I see here, can see him in a county final atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. It's much more beneficial when a club takes that approach, I think. And then playing with experienced players like Kevin McNamara, who's managed under 21 teams in Kilmaley, like he's a lot of knowledge as well. David Lynch, who's been on a county under 21 panel for a while for Kilmaley at wing forward, he'd be more of a back, but strong physical player. And very surprised to see Conor Nealon is listed among the subs for Kilmaley. That's a big surprise. Maybe he's injured, I don't know, but he's a big
a man that won the senior championship when he was 16.
Exactly, and played on Clare panels as well, so a big addition to come on from the bench. Plus Barry Lynch as well able to hurl for Kilmaley on the bench. Plus looking at the Mills lineup, James McNamara, number 18, he's played wing back at senior level. I thought Jamie Keane, Jamie's in from the start, but the bench as well is going to have a big say. If Conor Nealon is at full fitness, he'll definitely make a difference when he comes on.
I suppose we might just drift. Maybe I won't ask you about next week's county final, but it has been, John, two interesting semi-finals.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose we saw our own game with where the road could really have went anyway. As they shoved out to the end, we're coming down the home straight. We were lucky enough to get over the line. The Mills have certainly been impressive in their route to the final. Probably have had a tougher path than ourselves as well. They've beaten two of last year's semi-finals. And look, I suppose it's an unusual build up to the final in the sense that with everything that's gone on, and you haven't got the usual razzmatazz has with getting ready for a senior final. Potentially will suit Callaghans Mills more, because it's our first final since 1993. Our lads have been there, and it wouldn't worry them hugely. But I think we're in for an intriguing battle. So we are, and as I said, it's an unusual year.
As a wisecracker in middle stage of the week, we'd be happy if there was no one at the county final.
For sure, but it is it's going to be very unusual. Like there isn't going to be the atmosphere that you'd normally have. Like there'll probably be no parade, no Tulla pipe band. The lower key will suit the underdog. And I suppose we saw no different 3 years ago with with Clooney. They brought a performance on the day and very nearly caught us. And the Mills will be trying to do the same, bring their best performance of the year.
So thanks to Pádraig and thanks to John. I think both of us I think that most of them are going for Kilmaley winning this. We'll chat to them at half time. I have my own views. So we hand you up there to Sean in the commentary box.
Thanks very much to Michael, Porrick and John there on the sideline as John makes his way up here towards the commentary position at the moment. We're just going to have a look through both teams, and starting number one with Kilmaley. In goals is Gary McMahon. Full back line is Sean Talty, Martin O'Connor and Conor Cahill. Half back line Kevin McNamara, Dara McMahon and Owen Keane. Midfield partnership of Sean Ronan and Sean Crowley. Half forward line John Finucane, John Clohessy and David Lynch, and an inside line of Shane Darcy, Éanna McMahon and Peter Ronan. And on the middle side they line out with Henry Skehan in goals, Liam McNamara, number 3 Adrian Donovan at full back, and wearing number 17 is Darren Cooney coming in the corner. Half back line Rory McNamara, Adrian Flaherty and Niall McNamara. Midfield partnership John Cooney and Christy Philpott, with a half forward line Barry Heffernan, who captains the side at number 10, Owen McGrath centre forward and Conor Lahan at 12. In the inside line where number 19 is Jamie Keane, full forward Ian Donlan, and Mark Pewter is wearing number 15. And I suppose, John, you've discussed in a bit with regards to today's setup, and one of the big things, I suppose, looking at it, it's a small bit, if you look at the midfield area, which is going to be vital in a pitch like Newmarket, where it's probably not the biggest amount of room. Kilmaley obviously have youth in Sean Crowley and Sean Ronan, and then experience in the likes of John Cooney from the Mills point of view.
Yeah, for sure. Look, as I said earlier to Michael, like the Mills have awful experience in the form of Adrian Donovan, Adrian Flaherty, and John Cooney is certainly no lease of life since he moved to midfield. Like, it's going to be a key battleground, and like the Mills, I suppose I saw him one of the earlier rounds. It was on down in 6 Mile Bridge, and like the forwards certainly thrive on early ball in, and they'll be looking at that area as a launch pad for their attack.
And I suppose, look, we were speaking, I suppose, earlier on in the week to both managers, Kevin Salmon from O'Callaghan's Mills point of view and Conor Clancy from a Kilmaley point of view, and they both, I suppose, are expecting this to go to the wire. A bit of luck on either side. They were saying, looking through their results in the lead into the competition, no easy games really for either of the sides in any of their 3 victories to date, and they're expecting that to continue today.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I suppose it's a big game really for the Mills in particular. They've it's their 3rd junior final in 4 years, and they'll really want to atone for the previous defeats. Kilmaley will be trying to get up intermediate also. They'll want to have a higher standard of hurling for all the young players they have coming out of their underage setup up there. I do think, look, this fields in super condition, Sean. I think we're in for an absolute cracker. Both teams be knocking on the door for the last few years, and they are super, and yeah.
And straight away we can see there's actually a switch in the Mills point of view. So John Cooney is lining up, but Christy Philpott has moved into the forwards. Jamie Keane, wearing number 19, is going to be his midfield partner here today, and they line up against Sean Ronan and Sean Crowley here as we wait, as Fergal Gray has the ball in front of him. He's just waiting for the Kilmaley subs to make their way off the field over here towards the stand side, and once he's happy with that, he'll get our proceedings underway straight away. So I suppose, John, just before throw-in, I suppose a novel bit of information that we learned from both managers, well known to each other, played with each other at underage level and won Harty Cups in '89 together.
Yeah, they both have been in Flannans, obviously. They're the one era. I suppose Conor would be the more well known of the two of them, but I do remember Kevin Hurling, so I do, and well able to hurl he was. And so, in what is the second of 3 county finals for the Mills over the next 7 days, they obviously have, in association with their amalgamation with Bodyke, won the minor B yesterday, junior A final today, and now they're underway and they're away at the senior final next week. So we wait and see as the ball breaks straight away into the position of Kilmaley wing back, and that is Owen Keane. Owen Keane gives the ball up, but only inside waiting there is Adrian Flaherty. Adrian delivers a long ball down. He's looking towards the inside line and he's looking for Ian Donlan inside. Ian in a battle keeps possession in front of him. He comes towards the 21 trying to make that angle. They're recycling the ball right out about 45 metres now from the Kilmaley goal. They hold up possession. Shot is coming in, it's high. He's going to be able to keep in play. It's not, it hits the post instead. It rebounds back, and waiting there to pick it up, or hoping to pick it up, was Sean Talty, but the ball goes off his stick and it's inside. A tussle in around the square now at the moment, which looks to be in possession of Kilmaley as they work their way out. Ball breaks again on the 21, and it's going to be a battle here now for possession. It's going to be Sean Ronan looks to be the man in possession, and Sean delivers the ball out as far as Owen Keane. Owen Keane carries the ball forward, looks up and delivers a crossfield ball over. He tries to get beyond the midfield of the Mills, and he does indeed, as far as John Clohessy. John now carrying the ball forward 45 metres out from the Kilmaley goal, kicks that ball in front, and the ball lands inside. There
calls for a free here from the Kilmaley management, but play goes on, and it's now in possession of David Lynch. David Lynch giving it back over as far as John Fanuka, and John gets inside his direct marker, recycles the ball back to Sean Crowley. Sean Crowley steadies himself, takes the opportunity, but it goes out and just goes to the right hand side and goes wide. But chances on both sides straight away, John.
On both sides, Sean. I suppose the Kilmaley we had a bit of a let off blow, ball come off the post. They were quicker to react to it than the Mills forwards. Back up the field attack, very unlucky not to get the opening score.
Here we go, puck out now from Henry Skehan. Henry delivering that ball long down the far side of the field. Up goes the Mills half forward line. They catch the ball and in they're going towards the 21. Inside the 21, bottled up there now by the Kilmaley defence, and the ball breaks, and it breaks to Sean Talty. Sean gets it out the side, but only as far as the Waiting Mills forward. He's blocked down by Owen Keane. Owen now in possession. He gets turned over. The ball is still there to be won, and Conor Cahill is the man in possession. Conor gets out as far as the 21, carrying the ball. He delivers it straight down here now as we look about 50 metres out from their own goals. Goes off the hands of a Kilmaley wing forward, and straight away we're back in play with the Mills with a quick line ball, and they're going to carry the ball forward again now. Here goes opportunity presenting itself, but decide to carry it on again. Up they go towards the 21, chased all the time by three different Kilmaley defenders, but the ball is going to break. It breaks inside, and we have our opening score of the day.
Yeah, opening score of the day, Sean, from Owen McGrath. Great run through the middle by Cahill Linehan from the puck out. You know, and we've seen the two puck outs there in a row where the middles forwards are running right at the Kilmaley backs.
So puck out is caught here now in the middle, and it's caught by Mark Pewter. Mark delivers a crossfield ball inside. He was looking for Ian Donlan, but the ball beats Ian, and it's a race for possession now. Martin O'Connor looking to win it, but Martin puts the tackle in, and the ball is still in possession of the Mills. It's recycled back as far as Ian. Ian now has possession, gets his shot off, but he's half hooked, and the ball travels out and travels wide.
Yeah. Poor wide, I suppose. I mean, if he'd looked outside him, there was another Mills man free, you know, to recycle the ball out. After seeing their two good runs from Barry Heffernan through the heart of the Kilmaley defence, you know, so they really are attacking him at every opportunity they get.
So just under 3.5 minutes played here. Plenty of opportunities in the first 3.5 minutes, but the score stands at the moment. O'Callaghan's Mills 1 point, Kilmaley no score, and that puck out is coming straight down on top of the half forward line. It breaks as far as John Clohessy. John battling for possession, but it breaks away from him, and instead it's John Cooney who has it for the Mills. John lays in that shot. It's going to go in, but it hits the feet of Gary McMahon inside the goals. And Gary tries to get possession, but he's turned over in possession, an opportunity and a goal.
Goal for Jamie Keane, Sean. You know, real opportunistic goal. Gary didn't gather possession at the first attempt. Jamie grabbed it, and there was only one outcome.
So that now puts the Mills 1-1 to no score up. Just 4 minutes on the clock as we look at it here now at the moment. And Kilmaley launched their latest attack through that puck out down through Gary McMahon. Gary finds his forwards here in the half forward position. It breaks again, but only breaks as far as Barry Heffernan. Barry with possession plays it over as far as Mark Pewter. Mark keeping possession in front of him, but he's been outnumbered at the moment by Kilmaley as it breaks again, and it breaks as far as Callaghans. Cahill now carrying the ball forward. Cahill hoping to get his shot off, but he's half hooked, and in it goes as far as Gary McMahon in the goals. Gary low ball down the centre. He puts it, it's going to travel over towards the sideline. It's going to hold in play here now, and it's going to give loads of time for the Mills number 5, which is Rory McNamara. Rory transferring the ball. Up it goes there as far as Christy Philpott. Christy's attempted shot is blocked down, and it's going to be a line ball now, says the linesman on this side, Rory McGann. But I suppose from a Mills point of view, they'll be very happy, John, with the opening 5 minutes. They have 1-1 on the board, and they've had, I suppose, another 2 or 3 chances already.
For sure, yeah, they'll definitely be the happier of the two teams. You know, they've really went at Kilmaley since the start. You know, they all look to be at it today, and we've another score coming up here from
John Cooney is the man in possession. John gets the quick line ball, quick thinking by captain Barry Heffernan. Barry straight across the field low as far as John Cooney, but John's shot unfortunately goes out to the left hand side and goes wide, and a quick puck out comes now. Over it comes as far as Kevin McNamara. Kevin McNamara is adjudged to have been just over the line as he caught the ball, and it's going to provide another opportunity for the Mills to set up an attack.
Yeah, you know, it's all the Mills at the minute, Sean, so it is. Kilmaley probably need to get a grip in the game, particularly around the middle of the field. You know, we've only seen probably 2 attacks since the game started from Kilmaley. So we're really looking to their midfield pair and to get a grip on it. So
Mark Pewter now is the man with the ball in his hand. He's going to place it down now shortly, and he's going to be hoping to cut this ball in or around the house, looking inside, probably in or around where Ian Donlan is at the moment. He'd be hoping that it would land, and referee just Fergal Graham making sure that everybody is the requisite distance back before he gives the go ahead, but that has been given now, and Mark stamps back from the ball, and we watch and see where this delivery ends. In it goes, but it hits the hurley there of Dara McMahon. Dara in possession, close to the sideline, hand passes the ball out, but he only gives it away. The ball is recycled back as far as Mark. Mark settles himself, but it's always going across the face of goals, out to the right hand side, and another opportunity gone.
Yeah, Mark will be disappointed with that. You know, the ball was played back out, and it was a stand-up strike. He put it to the right and wide.
Callaghans was attacking that puck up, but it breaks instead for John Cooney, and John recycles it there as far as Barry Heffernan. Barry plays that hurley pass inside as the Mills go on the attack. Plenty of Kilmaley lads back, so they recycle it back around behind. Umpires are running towards the post, but the hands go up and it hasn't come inside the post, and it's another opportunity which I suppose at this stage, given the ascendancy that the Mills are in, they're going to have to start taking some of these chances.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they've 1-2 on the board. They could easily have 1-4, 1-5. You know, they'll be worried about the amount of wides they had.
Ball breaking now as far as Sean Crowley. Sean gets his shot off, and in it goes, and it's gone in. The white flag is going for it straight over the bar, and that's the opening score of the day for Kilmaley. So it's now 7 minutes and 25 on the clock. It's 1-2 for the Mills and 1 point for Kilmaley. Puck out coming now straight away. Down it goes from Henry. Henry's delivering it down on top of the half forward line. High ball dropping, but where's it going to break? It breaks in favour of Callahan. Cahill is going in on the charge again. Cahill shortens the grip, but he's blocked inside by Martin O'Connor, and Martin is on keeping an eye on the ball all the time. It's turned over now, and out come Kilmaley. Down they come down the side, to closer and closer to the sideline. Kevin Mack was going as he gets turned over, but the ball breaks back as far as Kevin again. He recycles it back to Martin O'Connor, and Martin delivers that long clearance down towards the 65 here at this end. The ball breaks. It was hoping to break into the hands of John Finucane, but instead it's the Mills who turn it over. But a shot there from Adrian Donovan, half blocked, and gives the possession back in the favour of Kilmaley, and they head inside and they head towards Shane Darcy. Shane with possession steadies himself, gets his shot off, he shoots it across the face of goal. The hand goes up, and another good score for Kilmaley.
Great score for Kilmaley, Sean. You know, there was a lot of space left inside in front of Shane Darcy, and he certainly exploited it once the ball was delivered in.
So keeper for the Mills now, Henry's just looking for options, but it looks like he's going to go long again. Down it comes. Where's it going to drop? It drops straight into the hands of John Finucane, and John delivers that ball straight back in. 3 men go up, but it's the Mills defence that come away with it. Their full back, which is Aaron Dunham, he's coming out with that ball all the time, and a long relieving clearance down towards the 21 at the far side of the field. Just gets over the half back line attempt as Owen Keane put his hand up to grab it. The ball breaks behind, and it breaks as far as Sean Talty. Sean now recycles it, and it's Conor Cahill carrying the ball out. Conor looks ahead, delivers that ball back inside towards Darcy. Darcy just registered the last score of the game, and he settles himself, and he's hoping for 2 in a row. We watch and we see, and indeed it is a second score of the day for Shane Darcy, and now the score stands at 1-2 to 3.
Yeah, great score from Shane Darcy, Sean. You know, Kilmaley got a grip in the middle of the field after dropping Ian McMahon out around as a third midfielder, and certainly they started winning the battles out there.
Puck out going down the far side of the field now as we look at it at the moment. A battle over, and the ball breaks down, and it's in the possession of Owen Keane at the moment. Owen is looking inside, he's looking for that man Shane Darcy again. Shane accidentally tripped as he came to attack the ball, and it's a first scoreable opportunity of the day here now presenting itself for Kilmaley, and we'll just wait and see who's the man that's going to take responsibility for this free.
Yeah, Shane certainly seems to be their go-to man at the minute up front. You know, he has 2 back from play, and he has a free one. You know, and they're certainly looking for him at every opportunity, and the midfielders half forward line get the ball.
So Fergal Grey points to the spot of exactly where this free is going to be taken, and they're going to settle themselves, and they're hoping now, having been 1-2 to no score down, this is an opportunity to bring it back to a 1 point game. We watch for the umpires. Val Donlan is happy with it. He points over to the white flag, and that score is taken by Shane Darcy himself, and Shane registers his third of the day. Kilmaley's at 4th, and we're now back to a 1 point game.
Yeah, back to a 1 point game now, Kilmaley, after having a poor start, I suppose, by their own standards, have certainly thundered into the last couple of minutes.
Oh, puck out comes and only breaks again as far as Sean Ronan actually in possession. Sean gets turned over as he's hooked, and then the gap is opening up inside. Opportunity presents itself, and Barry Heffernan makes no mistake there as he taps over the ball, and that, from a Mills point of view at least, breaks the run of scores that Kilmaley were on.
Breaks the run of scores, Sean. Yeah, it's the puck outs from Henry Skehan mainly seem to be aimed at Barry Heffernan, who certainly won the first few of them, went down on him. Made a couple of good darting runs through the heart of the Kilmaley defence and finished with a point on that occasion, to break the cycle of scores from Kilmaley.
So Gary McMahon now with possession of the ball, and he's going to be looking outside. It looks like he's going to go long down the far side of the field, and that's exactly where he lands it. But forwards and backs go up, but the ball breaks behind, and it's a race for possession. Over it goes, and it's in the hands of John Cooney. John Cooney delivers a low ball in, but Conor Cahill is the man to read it at cornerback for Kilmaley. Conor carries that ball out, shortens the grip on the stick. He was looking, I think, there for Éanna McMahon, but unfortunately overplayed the ball. The ball breaks. It breaks as far as Cathal Lehane. Cathal Lehane has the opportunity, takes the strike, but it drifts off to the left hand side, and another wide for the Mills.
Yeah, another wide for the Mills, Sean. I suppose good pressure there from Kevin McNamara on Cahill, to force the wide.
Shawnee Crowley now in possession. Shawnee delivers a low ball in here now in front of his full forward line. Ball is there. It's Peter Ronan that has possession. Peter lays it off. Peter's adjudged to have been fouled while in possession, and it's going to be an opportunity now for Kilmaley to I suppose register their latest score of the day, which would be their 5th point of the day if they can, and we just wait and see as it looks like Shane Darcy is the man who's going to make his way over here. But I suppose it's been obvious in the last few minutes, as you said, John, that when the ball is breaking from puck outs in the half back line, Kilmaley have really got on top, and they're starting to set up attack after attack.
Yeah, Sean, for sure, and they're creating a lot of space inside too, in front of their full forward line, and particularly in front of Shane Darcy since they moved the man out. They're playing 2 inside, and there's loads of space in there for them.
And Shane strikes that ball, but it goes across the face of goals, and it just goes over and goes wide, and he registers his first wide of the day, and the score remains 4 points for Kilmaley. It's 1-3 for O'Callaghan's Mills. So we wait and we watch as the puck out comes. It's Henry Skehan delivers it, a slightly shorter ball, but over there was Sean Ronan. Sean Ronan now with possession, twists around, he flicks the ball over his head as far as David Lynch. David Lynch carrying the ball in, delivers it over, and the ball is going to break now as far as John Clohessy. John has possession, steadies himself, was thinking about taking it on, but his shot is half blocked. It goes in behind, and Peter Ronan is the man in possession. Peter dances inside, he attempts at 2 different Mills defenders, gets his strike off, and a lovely finish from Peter.
Yeah, great score from Peter. The Mills had turned over, or the Kilmaley turned over the puck out. He dodged 2 defenders and finished with a great score.
So Henry Skehan now making his way again back towards the goal, and he's all of a sudden you can notice there's a drop in pace from the Mills. The puck outs were coming thick and fast when they were on top, but he slows it down now. He's going to go as far as his fullback, which is Adrian Donovan, and Adrian's going to deliver a long relieving clearance down on top of the Kilmaley 21. The ball breaks behind, and it breaks for the Mills, and in there coming, the opportunity was presenting themselves if they could get the offload, but they don't, and instead Conor Cahill tries to wrap up the latest attack, and there he is indeed. He has possession in his own hands, and Conor delivers the ball out as far as Sean Ronan. Sean Ronan plays the ball back again towards his number 7, which is Owen Keane. Owen Keane now looking inside for that man Darcy. The ball breaks in behind, and Darcy's going after it. Shane Darcy now short grip on the stick. He's caught the ball twice. He looks across, he's looking for Clohessy, but off the line came Henry Skehan, got a touch on the ball. Ball breaks out here now as far as the 21. Opportunity there for Peter Ronan, and both corner forwards now have registered 2 points for play for Kilmaley.
Yeah, I suppose, look, the Mills will consider themselves lucky there. It wasn't a goal, it was a great interception by Henry Skehan to prevent the goal. I know they got a point out of it, but very unlucky not to get a goal there.
So Adrian Donovan again takes that short puck out, and he delivers that long clearance. Down it goes, breaking about 30 yards from the goals. Back it goes, Sean Talty, the man in possession. Sean gets it back as far as Gary McMahon. Gary steadies himself, looking for Kevin McNamara, but it's going to travel beyond Kevin and come as far as John Finucane. John now with possession of his hands. He carries the ball, he's carrying it up towards the 65, past his own 65, up towards midfield. Delivers a lobbing ball in front of Ronan again. That's Peter Ronan, the corner forward. Peter looking for the overlap. The ball, touches David Lynch. David is in if he can get it up, but he just runs over the ball, and it's a race for possession now between himself and Liam McNamara, but Liam is the man in possession, and Liam plays it out towards John Cooney. John attempting to take the ball up, stood, and Sean Ronan steps in, and Sean takes the ball off him instead, delivers it back as far as Shane Darcy. Shane Darcy recycles it again as far as David Lynch. David Lynch, crossfield ball, looking for Clohessy. Up goes John, the ball breaks down. John slides in, wins the ball, gets his strike off. We watch and we see it straight over the bar.
Yeah, great score from John Clohessy. You know, the Kilmaley didn't panic there when he went on the attack. They recycled the ball, they gave it to the man in the better position the whole time. You know, possibly they could have been in for the goal at check the score with Kilmaley would be the happier of the two teams, Sean, at the water break. You know, 7 points to 1-2 up. You know, didn't start particularly well. Really thundered into the game in the last couple of minutes. You know, the Mills are struggling possibly with the two lads on the inside line for Kilmaley in Shane Darcy and Peter Ronan. You know, they 4 got from play between them out of 7 and a free 1. You know, so I think certainly the water break has come at a time that gives the Mills a chance to regroup and see what areas they need to address for the second quarter.
Yeah, and I suppose we're just getting confirmation of the score at the moment. It was 1-3 at one stage was on the board for Callaghans Mills, but that was put back to 1-2. So we'll wait and we'll bring confirmation. The confirmation we're being told is that it is 1-3 to 7 points, so it is only a 1 point game. So we were correct in what we had. The scoreboard here in the grounds was wrong, but as you say, the first 7 or 8 minutes, the Mills, I suppose, were well on top. They got the 1-1. They had another 3 or 4 chances, but that really turned around after the 8th or 9th minute, and now we're in a situation where Kilmaley are after reeling off. I think it's 6 in a row.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose, Sean, the big change was when Kilmaley dropped Anna McMahon out around the middle of the field. You know, it created extra space inside for Shane Darcy and Peter Ronan. It gave him an extra man out midfield for the out ball, and you know, the quality of balls they started putting into the inside line as well has been really of good quality. You know, and it's given them the chance then to actually take on the Mills backs, you know, in good space that's been created in front of them.
And Kilmaley have retaken the field now after this water break. As we said, there was just over 15 minutes gone when they took it, so we're going to have at least 32 minutes now in this half as we wait and we watch as Henry Skehan makes his way back down towards the goals. We're going to restart with a puck out at that side, but I suppose from Mills' point of view, it's probably the perfect time, and they're only a point behind. They've had an opportunity now to go in, reset, have a chat about what's going wrong, and hope maybe to switch a few things around now in the next 15.
For sure, yeah. You know, they had a blistering start, so they had, and you know, they were on top for the first 7 minutes. You know, Kilmaley the second 6 or 7 was very, very little in it. So
puck out and off we go again. The ball breaks as far as John Finucane. John down over the ball, but he can't win it. Instead, it's going to be a tussle and a race for possession, and that race is going to be won by Sean Crowley. Sean delivers the ball in here as far as his centre forward, John Clohessy. John looking for the runner. The runner comes off his shoulder in the form of full forward Éanna McMahon, and Éanna makes no mistake. And we were just saying the Mills would be hoping to rectify what had gone wrong, but it's Kilmaley who've pushed on, and they've gone in now to a 2 point lead.
Very good score there from Éanna McMahon. You know, it was a great ball from originally Sean Ronan to John Finucane. You know, and great score for Kilmaley.
Out goes the ball again. It breaks down behind. It's broken down by Owen Keane on the far side. Owen sees the ball come as far as the half back line, and the ball goes over the heads as far as John Clohessy. John steadies himself, a stray hand pass. The shot goes in. Val Donlan looks, but Val says no. The ball has drifted to the left hand side and gone wide. But I suppose an error made on Callaghans Mills' part, and very nearly punished by Kilmaley.
Yeah, for sure, Sean. Kilmaley just seem to be that little bit sharper. You know, the short passing is very slick with them. Hand passing, they're constantly finding the man in the better position, pouncing any mistakes that are made by Callaghans Mills.
A ball back down the far side again, and it's going to break now, and it's going to break as far as David Lynch. David with possession plays that crossfield ball. He's looking inside. Advantage being played all the time. No doubt whatsoever about it. Peter Ronan being pulled back, and Peter wins his latest free. And I suppose if there's one area that the Mills will have serious concern about at the moment, it's going to be their bow cornerbacks.
Yeah, look, you know, it's there's no doubt about it. They're in trouble with the quality of the ball that's coming in. You know, I think they need to look at possibly the middle area and close down the supply of ball rather than actually maybe changing the cornerbacks for now. But definitely the supply in is of a high quality.
So Shane Darcy now just steadying himself. He's about 40 metres out from goal, just to the right hand side, makes absolutely no mistake, and he registers his second free, his 4th point of the day, and extends the lead. O'Callaghan's Mills 1-3, Kilmaley 9 points, as we just head towards the 20.5 minutes now here on the clock. And puck out coming down the far side again, still looking, hoping to reap the rewards down that far side, but once more it's Kilmaley that are over it. The ball is going to break, it's going to break as far as John Cooney. John recycles the ball back as they pass it around, and over it goes as far as Barry Heffernan. Barry trying to carry the ball in on the 21, faced by Conor Cahill there as he does. Barry gets his shot off, and that looks to be a good score, and he had to do all the work himself, and the second score there for Barry.
Yeah, great score there from Barry. Good ball back to him by John Cooney, and I suppose, look, Barry is the captain of the team, certainly leading the line at the minute from.
Puck out coming, just dropping now here on the Mills 65, up and it's won straight away by the Mills and by Mark Pewter. Mark delivers the ball in front of the outcoming Owen McGrath. Owen was tripped as he attempted to win it, and that's going to provide an opportunity now for the Mills to hopefully register their second score in a row, and all of a sudden if they can convert this one, we're back to 1 point again, John.
Back to 1 point game, yeah. It was a good ball down the line by Mark Pewter. It was a foul, I suppose. Sean Telty's legs got tangled up with Owen McGrath's, and we're looking now for Jamie Keane to bring it back to the minimum.
So Jamie makes his way out. He's roughly, I suppose, 40 metres out from the Kilmaley goals. He's about 10 metres or so just in off the sideline here on the stand side of Newmarket and Fergus. As we look at it, the grounds that are in pristine condition, to be fair, John, we must say that that neither side could have any complaints about the condition of the field. It's in immaculate condition at the moment, played in full sunshine as we watch that free go in from Jamie, but it's not going to come inside the post, and instead stays to the left and stays wide.
Yeah, they have for Kilmaley, the Mills will be very disappointed with that. It was relatively easy enough free, about 35-40 yards out to bring it back to the minimum.
Owen Keane took the quick puck out and he delivers it down, but he only delivers it as far as Airdrine Donovan. Airdrine charging out with the ball, delivers it down, it's batted down in front, and it comes as far as Kevin McNamara. Kevin wins possession. There's a little flick on the helmet just as he was going out over it, and that's going to present an opportunity now for Kilmaley to set up their latest score. And Kevin McNamara wanted to go quick, but the Mills forwards weren't retreating fast enough, and referee Fergal Gray is now telling Kevin to bring the ball forward as he does, and it's going to be now just outside their own 65 at the moment. Kevin puts the ball down as we wait and see. Shane Darcy was thinking about coming, but he's double back at the moment. Here it goes into Shane's corner, it's over, it goes, a perfect pass from Kevin McNamara straight into the hands of Ronan, and Peter Ronan, the man who makes sure to get his third point to play. But I suppose you must give credit to Kevin McNamara for the free.
For sure, Sean, yeah, I suppose it just a sign that Kilmaley want to play the game at their tempo, like they were looking to take that free the minute they won it. Super ball into Peter Ronan. The two corner forwards are interchanging between one another, and they've the Mills backs at 6 and 7s at the minute. 10
points now to 1-4 is the score, as that puck out breaks again in favour of the Mills. Out for it again comes that man Ronan. Peter settles himself, he's looking for his second in a row, but this one is going to drift out and it's going to drift wide. But it is obvious, as you said, John, every time the ball breaks it's fast ball in front of both Darcy and Ronan in here in the two corners, and they have the full back line in all trouble.
They have, yeah. Look, the two lads, they certainly have the run on Darren Cooney and on Lee McNamara at the minute.
That ball is breaking now from the puck out. It breaks as far as Kevin McNamara. Kevin slips down over it, trying to win possession. The ball breaks behind it. Coming over for it was Dara McMahon, but Dara can't gather it either. The ball stays inside in the ruck, and Fergal Gray decides too many bodies around the ball and he's going to throw it in. But as we look at the clock now, just over 24 minutes gone, I suppose we do have maybe about 8 minutes or so to play, but the Mills will be hoping to come more into this game before half time.
Oh, they will, Sean, yeah. With the start ahead, they'll certainly be looking for a few scores before half time, so they will. They've come slightly back into this, I suppose, since the water break, but they are in trouble at the minute, certainly in their full back line, so they are.
So Rory McNamara delivering the latest attack for the Mills, but it's going to break, and it's only going to break inside for the Kilmaley defence, and the ball is worked out now as far as Owen Keane. Owen Keane carries the ball up to his own 65, he steadies himself in his own 65, he favoured himself for the range, but instead the ball drops inside and it drops in front of Henry Skehan. Henry flicks the ball out. It's going to be a race for possession here, which is won straight away by the Kilmaley lads. An overlap here with John Finucane if they could get it over, but instead it's going to break, and it's going to break as far as Sean Ronan. Sean Ronan just got the flick in ahead of the Callaghans Mills defence, and a little loose pull now is going to give another opportunity to Shane Darcy to try and register his latest free.
Yeah, I think Sean might have seen the pull from Mark Pewter coming. He just got the flick in time. There wasn't anything intentional in it, but just slightly late from Mark. An opportunity now for Shane Darcy to put 4 between the sides.
So Shane steadies himself about 50 metres out, makes no mistake, and he registers his 3rd free, his 5th of the day, and that extends the lead now out to Callaghans Mills 1-4, Kilmaley 11 points. And given the way this game has been played, I suppose, John, that is I think it's now 10 points to 1, is it, in terms of the last 15 minutes?
That's correct, yeah. At the start, as I said, that the Mills have had Kilmaley have certainly got the grip and have been on top, until since about the 7th or 8th minutes that they have. They're working really hard outside around the middle of the field. There are a lot of bodies out there.
Darcy with another opportunity, and Shane lets fly from his own 65 and makes absolutely no mistake. He registers his 3rd from play of the day to go with the 3 frees he's put over. So that's 6 now for Shane, and this extends the lead out 1-4 to 12 now at the moment. That puck out is breaking, and it's breaking over the sideline at the moment though, and it's going to be a line ball for Kilmaley, coming off the hands of Mark Pewter there, who was just trying to gather it, but Mark unable to get to grips with the ball, and the ball just drips out over the sideline, and Kevin McNamara places the ball down here on the line, and it's going to be Kevin who will get us back underway as we look now. 26 and a half minutes just gone here now in the first half. Kilmaley in the ascendancy at 12 points to 1-4, and Kevin just chips it as far as John Clohessy. John plays the ball over the heads of Rory McNamara, but the Mills turn it over, and it's a race for possession, kicked out over the line by Dara McMahon, and it's going to be a line ball for Kilmaley, or for O'Callaghan's Mills this time, as they're going to get an opportunity to place the ball down and see if they can set up their latest attack. So we'll wait and see. They were looking for the quick options again, but they're not on. They step back, and here comes the chip. In it goes across the 21, but it only goes as far as Owen Keane. Owen gives it to Conor Cahill. Connor's going to charge out as he's done all day with the ball. Out he comes, the speed of the cornerback beyond his own 65, settles himself. He's going for the strike. It looks like he's the distance. It hits the post, breaks down, and there's nobody inside except for Henry Skehan. Henry gathers possession now, and he delivers it back. He's looking inside, I think, for Christy Philpott. Christy gathers possession, plays it over as far as John Cooney. John steadies himself roughly around the halfway line. That shot goes in, it goes to the left hand side, and it goes wide, and another opportunity gone a begging for O'Callaghan's Mills.
Yeah, John will be disappointed with that. It was a stand-up strike roughly in the middle of the field, but they'd have been hoping to close the gap before they get to the half-time mark.
So that puck out was looking for John Clohessy, but intercepted instead by Owen McGrath. Owen got a touch on it, but the ball travels out, and it travels out over the sideline, and John Clohessy now puts the ball down. John was thinking about the quick one, but Kevin McNamara tells him to move back up the foil, and instead Kevin goes quick with it. It comes back again, recycled back to Kevin. Plenty of options back behind him if he gets it. He does indeed, but in come the Mills quickly, and they block it down. It's turned over in the shape of Barry Heffernan, and Barry's trying to win it back again, but instead it's going to break, and it's going to break out here towards the side, and a possession there. Ian Donlan inside hoping to win it. Ian getting down over the ball. He's trying to come in the end line. He recycles it back as the Mills continue this latest attack. Out they come towards the 21, under pressure all the time. The overlap is there. The flick is on it, but in it goes. And Gary McMahon on the goal line just takes it down from under his post. Plays a low ball out here in front of Sean Ronan, but Sean isn't going to get there first, and it's going to be a line ball in now, and it's going to be a line ball for the Mills. But I suppose a bit of ingenuity inside by Owen Donlan to create that opportunity, and unfortunately just couldn't finish it.
Yeah, I suppose, Sean, there was a lot of bodies back there from Kilmaley. Like, the Mills would possibly be better off just keep the scoreboard ticking over, taking their points, tagging on a score when the opportunities present themselves. They're certainly have 10 goals scored in the campaign today. You can see why, because every opportunity they get, they're trying to run at the defence. And just might be better off. They're 6-5 down now. Better off just maybe taking their points at the minute.
So we wait now for the restart. Referee Fergal Gray, I think, is just after giving the indication it's 3 minutes of additional time at the end of the 30, as we just head for 29 and a half minutes, as that lying ball is cut out and cut straight as far as Éanna McMahon, and Éanna delivers a long ball in front. Peter Ronan was shown for it, but Peter goes to ground and the ball breaks behind, and it's Adrian Donovan again. Adrian with possession of that ball in his hand, and he delivers his clearance down on top of John Cooney. John gets a little flick on it as the ball breaks behind. Race for possession now at the moment between Sean Talty and Owen McGrath, but the ball travels out over the sideline, and Owen Owen McGrath stands over it. John Cooney is making his way up and he's going to take it off Owen, and it's going to be John Cooney who's going to get us to restart. He's looking for the fast options all the time. He's lined up, he's ready, he goes low, he only goes as far as Owen, and Owen is unable to win it, and inside now it is going to be a ruck. Out come Kilmaley with possession as they recycle it and bring the ball forward, and they bring it through John Finucane. John up inside the Callaghans Mill, 65 now at the moment. He was looking for David Lynch on the layoff. He finds David Lynch 45 metres out from goal. David delivers that ball in, but it drops into the hands of Henry Skehan, and referee Fergal Gray judges that no advantage was accruing from a foul there on John Finucane while he was in possession, and we'd expect Shane Darcy now to make his way back out for his latest opportunity.
Yeah, for sure, good reffing from Fergal there. You know, he played the advantage. The Kilmaley had a free shot effectively, so they had. You know, we'd be expecting now Shane to slot this over the bar and go into 13 points to 1-4.
So Shane settles himself. He's I suppose 47, maybe 48 metres out from goal. He'll be about 46 by the time he hits it. Whistle goes, over the black spot it goes, and that's his 4th free of the day, and Shane's 7th in total. So as John says, it extends the lead out that bit more now. It's 1-4 for Callaghans Mills, 13 points now for Kilmaley, and a sharp puck out as far as Airdrie Donovan. Airdrie carrying the ball out as he plays the overlap now, and the ball is played out towards the 45. Low ball here in front of the half forward line at the moment. Battle for possession, but ball is still there on the ground to be won. In nips Davy Lynch, and David Lynch is the man who plays it. He plays it back, but he only played it as far as Airdrie Flaherty, and as Airdrie tried to sidestep David Lynch, there was just a slightly frontal charge possibly, but I didn't see anything really, John, to warrant a name going in the book in it.
No, it's hard to see. Maybe, you know, Fergal had a bit of a better view of it. You know, he was given a yellow card. It's going to be a free to Airdrie Flaherty. You know, Mills needs to score.
And Airdrie is more than capable here now, just 60 yards from his own goals, but we've seen him many a time at senior level convert opportunities like this. So Airdrie steadies himself. He's more or less centre of the goal, so it's all going to be about distance. Just keep the strike straight. The distance is no problem, but he just couldn't keep it straight, and it drifts out to the left hand side and drifts wide, and just there on the 33-minute mark, referee Fergal Gray decides enough is enough for the first half, and the teams retreat to their respective sides with a scoreline of Kilmaley 13, Callaghans Mills 1-4. And I suppose the story of the first half really, John, has been the last 20 minutes and the performance of Kilmaley.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the Mills had the better start, but you know, from about minute 7 onwards, it has been all Kilmaley. You know, they've really taken the game to Callaghans Mills. They're well worth their 6-point lead. You know, the Mills have a lot of soul searching, I'm sure, to do at half time now. You know, particularly our full back line seems to be under pressure from Peter Ronan and from Shane Darcy. Like, there's a lot of space in there. You know, it's a beautiful day here. The ball is whizzing around Newmarket, you know, and Kilmaley are focusing on getting fast ball into that forward line. It's certainly paying dividends for them at the minute.
And I suppose the big thing is, look at Kilmaley, obviously 13 points to 1-4, but at the same time we are only talking 6 points. So if Kilmaley can reel off a point or two early into this second half, all of a sudden that 6 comes back down to 3 or 4, and Kilmaley are right back into the game.
For sure, yeah. You know, and I suppose in particular the Mills this year are renowned for you know, for getting goals. That 10 got in the competition to date. You know, they won't be too worried about the 6-point lead, so they won't. But certainly, you know, it's a massive quarter coming up for the Mills. You know, they don't want to let Kilmaley get any further out of sight than 6 points.
And with that, we're going to hand back down pitch side, down as far as Pádraig McMahon and Michael O'Connor. So over to you, Michael.
To Sean and to John, I suppose 6 members doing the commentary today, and I suppose Paddy, as we called it before the start of the game, a bit of pace is telling for Kilmaley now.
Yeah, big twist in the game that the Mills started so well. They'd won 2 on the board without Kilmaley getting into it. Then Kilmaley woke up, and the Mills seemed to be a bit shell shocked and haven't got into the game at all. And especially in the second quarter there, it's all Kilmaley. The pressure the Mills' full back line is under is really shown. Like Shane Darcy, Peter Ronan, and Dana McMahon are all on fire. And then in one of the key battles, we have John Clohessy is dominating on Adrian Flaherty. So the Mills have a lot of work to be doing here at half time to shape up their defence, because the game is slipping away from them minute by minute.
They're probably lucky they're not even down 4 or 5 more points, because the chances, Kilmaley have had Giltay's chances, and I suppose they haven't they haven't hit a goal yet, but it looks like it's coming.
Yeah, it did, and you could even see that the Mills had all the pressure on in the first half, and then they got the goal. So I suppose the Mills are happy. Half time has come now. They've had 7 wides, 2 of them were frees, and on county final days you can't miss your frees, and they were 2 scoreable frees that they didn't convert. So what the Mills will be able to do at half time to rectify it, I don't know, but it's all the momentum is with Kilmaley at the minute.
At the moment, we're looking at there that the Kilmaley full forward line now, Ian McMahon is playing out deep and doing a serious role, and they're even in Peter Ronan and Shane Darcy, but they have 11 points scored between them.
Yeah, 11 points out of 13, which is very, very impressive. 1-4 then the Mills, that's not enough for a return 30 minutes in a county final, 5 scores. And you can even hear it as well from the Mills crowd that are in the stand. They're panicking since Kilmaley took hold, and that panic is kind of seeping through. What the Mills are tending to do once they get the ball, it's all recycling it back to someone like John Cooney, but it's not working because they're hitting the ball wide. So they just need to get the ball, take on their man, and see what happens then, because Kilmaley surely have a cop by now. Once they get the ball, it's recycling back.
I definitely. Okay, we say Jonathan Clossy, John Finucane, Ian McMahon. They're delivering serious ball into Ronan and into Ronan and Shane Darcy.
Yeah, definitely, and the supply of ball is very good. They're getting out in front of their men, and the Mills full back line, you'd have a bit of sympathy for them because the supply of ball is so good that they're up against it. You can see then as well Kevin McNamara, tipped to be a county councillor in the next couple of years, maybe following the footsteps of his father. He's flying it there at wing back for Kilmaley as well. And midfield, Sean Crowley's getting through a lot of work as well, very pacey. Sean Ronan hasn't been flying it, but he's doing enough to get through. And then on the other wing back, Owen Keane is going well. Conor Cahill behind him had a chance of a point, but has gone very well in the first half so far as well.
Do we hold out hope for Callaghans Mills? Do they look like they're going to have to hit goals, or the worst that could happen to him now is to go down another 2 or 3 points straight after half time? Have they still a chance in this game?
I wouldn't write them off yet, but what has happened at 2 different stages in the first half, Kilmaley got 4 points without reply, and then they got 3 points without reply at another stage. So the Mills can't give them that level of dominance that they can go and get scores uncontested. So the Mills need to get on it straight away and keep the scores ticking, because we have seen Jamie Keane can do damage once the ball goes in. They have the men that can cause problems, so they need to take the game by the scruff of the neck now. First 5 minutes are crucial for the Mills.
I suppose we see in junior games, sometimes they're not as structured as senior hurling or intermediate hurling. Sometimes a team like Kilmaley could feel they have it won.
Yeah, exactly, and that needs to be the message coming from Conor Clancy and the lads, that the game isn't over. They've been in the final last year, they didn't win it, but the Mills are also used to losing at junior A level, so that might seep into them psychologically. But job isn't done for Kilmaley, and the game isn't gone from the Mills just yet.
I suppose the heat out there today is absolutely. It's brilliant for us, but it's hard going for them.
It's tough going, yeah. But like Kilmaley, a fit young side, so that shouldn't be a problem to them. They seem to have the legs a small bit more in the Mills, but first 5 minutes are crucial. Just looking, I see Adrian Flaherty's gone up to the forwards already for the Mills, so that's a wise move from them. But they need to supply him with ball, and they need to score very early on in the first 5 minutes.
I suppose, looking forward for a quick second, I mean, this heat in we were just counting, this heat in Cusick Park is going to have some bearing. If you're not fit enough for the park, you're going to struggle in the intermediate final in a couple of hours' time.
No, definitely, and shaping up, the weather is lovely, shaping up for a fantastic intermediate final on this feast of hurling today.
And we'll hand you back there to the 6-man bridge duo of...
Okay then. And welcome back here now to the commentary position, just as Kilmaley re-enter the field for the second half. Now here, as we look at it, as we say, it's 13 points to 1-4, and I suppose, John, just as we were saying beforehand, the one thing from a Mills point of view is they are going to need a good start here, or else the game could get out of sight.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big quarter for the Mills. They'll certainly want to be closing that 6-point deficit, so they will. There's a good start to the first half. They'll be looking for something similar now, so they will.
So we'll just wait now as Val Donlan looks to be the last man that's going to take his position up here now on the far side, and I suppose in the weather that we're in at the moment, every avenue has been taken up to watch this game. Even the market people are out on their boiler houses, chairs up on the roofs, and they're enjoying the spectacle here in the sun in front of us. So we're ready to go now for the second half. Fergal Gray with possession, he just throws in the ball, and we're straight away underway into a tussle with Callaghans Mills. Look to get that ball forward, but Kevin Mack looks to be the first man to retreat and win it. He does indeed. He was looking for Sean Talty, but he's going to have to go back himself. Kevin gets a flick on the ball. Conor Cahill now is hoping to win it as well, but it's going to break, and it looks like it's going to be another tussle as we go. Who's going to come out with the ball, we don't know yet, but we'll watch and see what comes. And when 2 or 3 bodies go to ground, Kevin McNamara is the man in possession, and Kevin delivers that ball over his shoulder, down it goes, down the far side of the field. He's looking for Ronan, who's breaking out, but it only breaks as far as John Classy. John first time pulled in it, but the Mills were able to intercept that, and they play the ball with Shawnee Classy. Is coming across now straight away. He got a touch on it, and the ball breaks now to Sean Ronan. Sean Ronan now in possession, taking it on. Sean gets inside to 65, takes the shoulder, gets the shot, but it's not going to have the distance. It goes inside to Henry Skehan, and Henry settles possession down, but he's very lucky to get the ball beyond Shane Darcy. Shane was coming looking to steal possession for Gilgray, sees a foul, and that's going to present an opportunity now just for Callaghans Mills to relieve the pressure and set up their latest attack.
Yeah, let off there for Callaghans Mills, Sean. You know, it was the sloppy clearance out of defence. Very lucky it wasn't intercepted. Free out now. It's going to be going to be taken by, I think it's Adrian Donovan. Yeah,
Adrian standing over the ball, and I suppose it's obvious to see how Callaghans Mills have brought out an extra man. Sean Talty at the moment in the full back line, he's going spare as we watch Adrian shot come in. It's heading, it just does have the distance and it has the accuracy. Over the black spot it goes, and Adrian registers his first free of the day, and now that reduces the gap 1-5 to O'Callaghans Mills, which is 8 points, 13 points to Kilmaley, and we're back underway with that puck out straight away, breaking again in favour of the Mills as they pick up the breaks, taking on possession. I think is Ian Donnellan. Ian looking to recycle it, and he does. He recycles it all the way back. Over it comes, and they're trying to work that scoring opportunity. Over it comes now as far as James McNair. Obviously the shot goes in it goes and over the bar, and that's another good start for the Mills.
Another good start for the Mills, Sean. They've certainly run the changes at half time. Adrian Donovan seems to have come out centre back. Adrian Flaherty's gone to right half forward. Christy Philpott has gone to centre back, so changes all over for Callaghans Mills.
So Gary McMahon now just delivers the latest puck out. Down it comes here, goes over the heads of two Kilmaley attackers, and instead it's coming out in the hands of Ian Donnellan, or not Ian Donnellan but Mark Pewter actually. Mark carrying the ball in. He's been chased all the time by Owen McMahon, but the ball gets over, it gets across, and referee sees a push in the back, and with less than 3 minutes played, the Mills now could have 3 scores on the board.
Yeah, great start for the Mills. They'll certainly be happy with it. You know, they have a 3 now. What's it, maybe 25, 26 yards out straight in front of the goals. Hopefully bring it back to a 3-point game from a Callaghans Mills perspective.
So the referee is moving it in even that slight bit more, making it a bit easier for Jamie Keane. Jamie with possession now as Fergal tells him exactly where to put the ball back. The Kilmaley defence just retreating back onto the line, but you wouldn't expect there to be any danger. As 1-6 to 13, you'd expect that Jamie will tap it over as he does, and he reduces the gap down. 13 points now for Kilmaley, 1 goal and 7 for O'Callaghans Mills, and it's a 1-score game now.
1-score game, yeah. O'Callaghans Mills will be very, very happy with their start. You know, they've been attacking at it since the second half restart. That's certainly be happy with the two teams.
Sharp puck out as far as Conor Cahill, and Conor delivering that ball down the far side of the field. As we look at it, goes over the head of John Finucane, and we watch and see where it breaks. John gets a little flick in it, but John Cooney nips in, and John is carrying the ball forward. He's looking for the overlap. He finds the overlap in the shape of Adrian Flaherty. Adrian gets blocked down. It comes again as far as John, and John just gives a little simple pass back behind him as the Mills try and engineer their latest scoring opportunity. The ball breaks in front, and it's going to break now, and we watch and see who's going to come out with it. 2-3 bodies around the ball. For Gilgray decides there's no clear vision of the ball, and he's going to throw it in again. But I suppose there's an obvious new tempo in the play for the Mills here straight after half time, John.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they certainly needed a big third quarter, Sean, and they've certainly started as if they're going to get it. Amazing strike there from
Christy Philpott, the man in question, and Christy.
Don't think there was any intent in it, though, to be fair, but Gray certainly calling it inside.
Oh, I think I'd be to say I think the ball just broke, and as the Kilmaley defender just put his hands down to get it, Christy went in hoping to get the flick, but unfortunately he was too late. Flicked across the hand, and it's a yellow card now for Christy Philpott. And he goes into the referee for Gilgray's book, but luckily everybody is back on their feet and they're ready to continue. So I think Sean Crowley was the man in possession of the ball that time when the little flick came in, and it's going to present an opportunity now for Gary McMahon to come out of goals. And Gary, standing on his own 45 here, is going to hope to at least drop this in around the 21, if not even inside it. So we watch and we wait, and the ball is actually inside about 15 yards out inside in the edge of the big square, but it breaks as far as John Cooney. John gets down over the ball and he's looking for help outside, and finds it in the shape of Christy Philpott, and actually John one-handed trying to get the overlap. Sean Ronan read it all the way. Sean picks up the ball. He's heading towards the 21. That opportunity presents itself, and Sean Ronan does as he done it underage all the time and puts the ball straight over there.
Yeah, great score from the Kilmaley perspective with Sean Ronan. You know, John Cooney had possession. You know, he tried to short pass, Sean Ronan intercepted, and puts four back between the teams.
So 1-7 now to 14 points is a scoreline as we head towards the 6th minute of the second half. Down it comes on top of Airdrie Flaherty, but the ball is going to break, and it's going to break behind, and there's Martin O'Connor, and Martin just manages to stay infield as he delivers the ball, and it's picked up instead by Niall McNamara, and Niall delivered a short pass again. Over it comes, and the ball is worked in as far as Airdrie with possession of the ball. Airdrie Flaherty plays that hand pass in over the head, but Owen Keane has it right. Owen wins the ball as it breaks, and it breaks now as far as Ian McMahon. Ian gets down over the ball. He frees up his hurley and delivers a crossfield ball over in front of Sean Ronan. Sean looked like he was possibly being held, but play goes on, and it's a race for possession, which Sean is actually in possession of, Peter Ronan is in possession of. Sean, of course, playing at midfield. Peter makes his way in around the line, and is still there, still trying to get that flick in. The ball breaks as far as Darcy. Shane Darcy now works the ball back out as far as John Finucane. John gets the shot off. We watch for the umpires. The ball is high, it's dropping, but it's dropping to the right hand side and just goes wide.
Yeah, wide ball for Kilmaley. Great pressure from Kilmaley's backs. Actually, it's Barry Heffernan that seemed to have put back full back for the second half with the moving up of Adrian Flaherty. You know, Kilmaley to work really hard to get that shot off there. 14 points now to 1-7.
So Henry Skehan again delivers that long pass. If it breaks behind, there's only one man there, and that's Sean Talty, but it breaks in front instead, and it goes as far as Christy Philpott. Christy delivers the ball back to John Cooney. John Cooney delivers it in, but the ball is going to travel. It's going to travel too far. It's going to go out over the end line, and it's going to go wide. And I suppose, John, from a Mills point of view, I suppose the wides are racking up, but it's even the shot selection at this stage. It's nearly shoot on sight as opposed to maybe trying to work that ball in a bit further.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there's a lot of space in that inside line, and they need to get the ball good and fast into the inside forwards.
Adrian Flaherty delivers that ball in, but it only goes as far as Gary McMahon. Gary picks it up, gives it to Conor Cahill, and Conor Cahill, long ball, looking for his centre forward, which is John Clohessy. John managed to keep the ball in play first of all, but then it travels out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball now for the Mills men, and they're going to have an opportunity just to relieve that pressure. But I suppose, just going back to what we were saying earlier, another indication, Adrian Flaherty obviously had the shot, but again, similar to John Cooney's one, just hasn't the distance, and they're giving the ball back to Kilmaley.
For sure, yeah. Look, it's a free strike out for the Kilmaley goalie. Certainly tensions are starting to flare here in front of us now, so they are approach the middle of the first quarter.
So they just 4 points between them as we look at it at the moment. That cut goes right in, and it goes in over the heads. Conor Cahill gets a touch on it, but the ball did break out in favour of the Mills, but unfortunately they couldn't take advantage of it. It was Cahill Linehan who was trying to get it, but Conor Cahill nipped in, gives it to Shawnee Crowley. Shawnee Crowley gives it back to Sean Talty. Sean Talty back to the fullback Martin O'Connor, and Martin delivers a long high ball straight down on top of Airdrie Donovan. Airdrie catches the ball at centre back, shortens the grip and delivers it. Perfect ball straight into the hands there of Barry Heffernan, of Cahill Linehan. Cahill shortens the grip and the stick, and I suppose that's an indication of what the Mills are capable of.
For sure, yeah. I think Adrian Donovan has made a big difference, Sean, since he came to centre back. You know, we saw him catching that ball, finding Cahill Linehan in space, which resulted in a score, bringing it back to 3-point.
So here we go, short puck out as far as Shawnee Crowley. Shawnee delivers the ball, he's looking inside for Peter Ronan. Peter is being held as he tries to get inside his direct opponent, and Fergal Gray has no hesitation on putting the hand up and blowing the whistle. And after the last few well worked opportunities for the Mills, it looks like they're possibly going to gift one straight back to Shane Darcy from this position.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with that, Sean, but you know, the minute the ball was being struck in from their midfielder, you know, you could see that corner forward has been held inside, and I'm sure now that Shane Darcy won't make any mistake with this. So
Shane on the 21 metre line now as we look at it, and he just lifts and strikes. Watch for the umpires, neither of them give us an indication straight off, but it is straight over the bar, and Shane registers yet another as Barry Lynch is being introduced into the Kilmaley team now at the moment. Barry looks to be coming in here around the half forward line, and Ian McMahon possibly is the man that's going to make way, and indeed, no, it's David Lynch actually, I think it is, John, that's coming off.
Yeah, David Lynch, you know, has been withdrawn poke out one again there now by Kilmaley.
And straight away it comes as far as Ronan, and that is Sean Ronan in the middle of the field. Sean is fouled as he tried to go around Niall McNamara, and out again will come Shane Darcy with another opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. The last two attacks there now we've seen in discipline from Callaghans Mills, and another opportunity for Shane to push it back out to 5 points.
So Shane is just going to get an opportunity to steady himself. He's about 5 metres in off the sideline. He's about 50 metres or so out from goal as we look at it, and we'll have a direct line of sight here as we follow the path of Shane's latest free. He has 5 of them scored so far to go with his 3 from play. That one is straight over the black spot to us, but we'll watch for confirmation as the umpire lifts his white flag, and now 6 from free, 3 from play, and that's 9 points so far for Shane Darcy.
Yeah, look, he's having a big influence on the game, Sean. I think Kilmaley have weathered that early storm from Callaghans Mills at the start of the third quarter, and pushed it back out to 5 points now.
So Kilmaley again working it out here through their centre back, which is Dara McMahon, and Dara plays the short pass over here, looking inside. They were looking for John Classy, but the ball gets in behind John, but John is still fighting and battling away. The ball is there to be won, but it's picked up by the Mills. A little flick in the ball, but it's still in possession of the half back line here for the Mills, and they're going to deliver the long relieving clearance. Down it goes on top of Linehan. He puts up the hand, but the ball breaks behind. Opportunity, and it's goal! Another goal for Kilmaley, and I think it's the same man again, John. Is it Jamie Keane who finished it?
Yeah, great goal from Jamie Keane. It was a long ball up from Adrian Donovan out of the defence. Route 1, Jamie Keane waited for the ball to break, caught it on the bounce, and he's got his second goal of the game now. Big score.
So 2-8 now for Callaghans Mills. It's 16 points for Kilmaley, 14 points to 16, and all of a sudden, as we just hit nearly just under 12 and a half minutes gone, we're back to a 2-point game here as the vocals on the Mills side of the field really start to I suppose get a bit louder, but that ball comes back out to Éanna McMahon. Éanna has the opportunity, little bit of hesitation, but the ball is way wide, and we stay as we were. 2-8 for Callaghans Mills, 16 points for Kilmaley.
Yeah, it was a big score for Callaghans Mills, Sean. They'll be hoping out to build on that, so they will close the gap further.
Oh, that puck out goes straight out over the sideline, and Sean Ronan now has a quick line ball. He went into Barry Lynch, but Barry gets turned over there by Mark Pewter, and Mark delivers the ball in, but waiting inside is the free man Sean Talty. Sean trying to work his way out. He gives the ball back as far as Conor Cahill, but it breaks down, and it's in possession of the Mills as they try to get that pass off. Still in possession of the Mills. Ball comes back out over the heads of them all, and it's a race for possession, which I think is John Cooney is the man who was racing. John is adjudged to have been pushed, and all of a sudden we could be back to a point, John.
Could be back to a point. Good play there from Cahill Linehan. He was bottled up. He couldn't get the shot off. He didn't panic. He waited till John Cooney became available. Hand pass out to John. John was fouled in. We should see Jamie Keane slotting this over to bring it back to the minimum.
So Jamie makes his way out now. He's just going to settle himself. He's about 40 metres out from goal. He's I suppose about 15 metres or so in off the far sideline as we look at it here at the moment, but given the form that Jamie is in, we would expect that he will reduce the gap back to the minimum here with this latest free. So as we hit 30, just under 14 minutes on the clock, Jamie lifts and strikes. We watch for the umpires. Gary McMahon tries to encourage the umpires to wave it wide, but there's no doubt about it, it's straight over the bar, and we have a 1-point game.
1-point game, Sean. Yeah, as I said, the goal was a massive lift to the Mills, and they're certainly trying to build on that now, and they'll be looking to make score now to draw level. So
a puck out down in front of John Finucane, but it breaks as far as Sean Crowley. Sean Crowley back as far as Kevin McNamara. Kevin needs two attempts just to gather possession, but he delivers it in over the heads of everybody, and waiting back there is Barry Heffernan, the new full back for the second half, and Barry delivers it. Out it goes now here as far as the Mills. In it comes over the heads of everybody except for Martin O'Connor, and Martin gathers it, carries it to the 45, short gripping the stick over to the far side of the field. The ball breaking down in front of everybody. A race for possession. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be the half back line here covering across for the Mills, and Barry just gives the ball up here in front all the time. They're trying to just get inside that rear guard, keep the ball in play if they can on the sideline. The ball goes in, there's going to be a battle again. It's going to be Sean Ronan with possession, being followed all the time by Mark Pewter. Sean plays it up as far as he's centre forward John Classy, but John's attempted clearance is blocked down, and Airdreen Donovan now relieves the clearance with that big one inside in front of Jamie Keane. Jamie Keane and Sean Talty battle. Jamie thought he had it, but he just couldn't get the ball up into his hands. It breaks away, and it's going to break in favour of the Mills attack. Opportunity is there, but it's not. It is going to come inside the post, and all of a sudden we're level pegging.
Level score, Sean, here, great score there from James McNamara. That's his second point of the second half, so it is to draw him level. But I think, a lot of what's happening, what's been good from the Mills is, Adrian Donovan is having a massive influence in the game from centre back since he moved out there, and a lot of the attacks are coming from his clearances out of defence.
Water break just being called here now as we hit the 15.5 minute mark, and we're level pegging. One time there was 6 points of a lead for Kilmaley, but we're all square here as we hit for the final quarter. 2-10 now for the Mills. It's 16 points for Kilmaley, and really it's a carbon copy of the first half. Kilmaley started well where the Mills did in the first half, but really the Mills have come thundering back into it now, and that goal really has given them a boost.
Yeah, look, the Mills come thundering back into it, Sean. I suppose really, Kilmaley would have wanted the water break to come, to break the momentum that the Mills had at the minute. The Mills would have been the opposite. We've seen in numerous games, I suppose, this year, at club level where the pendulum has swung again after the water breaks. Very interesting to see who comes out of this one the better. Mills definitely are on top in the first quarter there, so they were, the drawback level, and 2-10 to 16 points, it's very, very even at the minute, so it is.
Yeah, and I suppose that it's really going to be, we're down now to the championship 15 minutes that people talk about. It's the winning and losing, who's going to hold their nerve. Both sides, as you discussed, I suppose at the start, both sides have kind of been bridesmaids of this competitions. They've been in semi-finals, they've been in finals. One of them has to get over the line, but it could come down to which one of them can handle the next 15 minutes the best.
Yeah, Sean, look, at the end of the day, this is what these lads have been training for, since they went back at the start of the year. And it really will come down, to who wants it the most, who's willing to put their body on the line, that who's going to drive forward that extra bit, and the team, I suppose, as well, that doesn't make those mistakes, keeps the discipline, right? No stupid freeze or that. This is, this is the business end of it now for both of them, so it is.
And I suppose on that as well, like you were looking. From a Kilmaley point of view, I suppose this water break has come at the ideal time. We speak every day, I suppose, about the water break, and when the team is on a run, the last thing they want is a break in the middle of a half. But for Kilmaley, after conceding that 1-2 there now, to lose their 5-point lead, to go back in level and be able just to reset, concentrate and fix their minds for the next 15 minutes will be important.
Yeah, and I suppose, look, both teams are taking the maximum. Fergus Gray is calling them out already. We definitely have a minute and a half done already, but it is a chance for the team that is under attack to reassess, make one or two subtle changes, also get a breather, Look, it's going to be very interesting now to see who comes out of this the better, was all of Callaghans Mills leading into it, but massive 15 minutes now up ahead for both teams, and both teams are striving to get up into that intermediate championship, they want their second team competing at the highest possible level for their club in 2021.
So Enda Harn has been introduced for Kilmaley, and it looks like Éanna McMahon has made way this time. Éanna is still here on the sideline at the moment, but he has his helmet on. So we'll wait and see, is he going to go back into the field or not? I'm not quite sure, but they're definitely Enda Harn is on the field. It's not for Éanna McMahon because Éanna makes his way on at last minute. Quick thinking there from Éanna. He waited till the whistle was blown. He got the free shot, but he just couldn't take advantage of it. But I suppose it just shows the quick thinking from Kilmaley's point of view.
Yeah, for sure. The management shielded him on the line, and he appeared with a puck up for Kilmaley. I suppose it's something we're seeing a lot of since the water breaks. No one from Callaghans Mills had picked him up, but Kilmaley didn't capitalise on the opportunity.
Oh, here we go now. Puck out dropping on the far 45-metre line. Up they go. See who comes down with it. The ball is going to break, and it breaks as far as Dara McMahon. Dara gets a little flick on it, and coming forward is John Finucane. John raiding up the far side of the field. He's trying to get his strike off now. He has the time. His strike goes in, but it's not going to carry the distance, and the goalie inside, Henry Skehan. Henry just shades it out over the end line, and he's going to restart us again now with the latest puck out.
Yeah, puck out now for Callaghans Mills, it's been very interesting now to see how they come out of that water break and see what they attack Kilmaley like they had been doing the leading into it.
Shawnee Crowley wins that ball. He gives it as far as Barry Lynch. Barry Lynch shortens and delivers that ball in, of course, as far as Shane Darcy. Shane hasn't been on much ball in the second half, but a lot of damage in the first. Barry Lynch is the man in possession again. Barry breaks inside the tackle, gets his chance, shortens his grip on the head, and nearly akin to his father in the good old days. was well able to ride the 2 tackles and put the ball straight over the bar.
Yeah, good score for Barry Lynch. You know, he was introduced earlier in the second half, and great score. Puts Kilmaley back into a 1-point lead.
17 points now to 2-10 as Henry Skehan just starts us again with this latest puck out. Down it comes, dropping inside the 45 at the far end of the field. Down it goes. Again, it's that man, Darragh McMahon, who gets a little flick on the ball, and he gets a second one even to it as Martin O'Connor now makes his way over. Martin gathers possession. He's looking for somebody for an outlet. Wasn't showing themselves, so instead over the shoulder he goes and he drops the ball down here on top of roughly halfway. The ball is going to break, and it's going to break there for Sean Talty, I think, who's made his way up from corner back at the moment. And Kilmaley still hoping to gather possession through the new man in, actually, which is in the Harn, but Enda flicks the ball out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball now for John Cooney and for the O'Callaghan's Mills team.
Yeah, I think we've seen Sean Talty has started to follow his man out. Sean, I suppose in the first 15 minutes of the second half he had stayed back as a loose man, but slightly changed there, the water break from Kilmaley. Decided not to attack his man. So
the ball breaks to Sean Ronan. Sean gathers his possession and he gives a little flick as far as his midfield partner, which is Sean Crowley. Sean Crowley delivers the ball in front of Darcy, but Darcy just couldn't gather it. The ball goes away from him and goes as far as Niall McNamara. Niall gives it to John Cooney. John still in possession, gives it back as far as Niall again. Niall just gets hooked as he tries to get that clearance in, and it's Peter Ronan who has a short little flick of the ball over as far as Shane Darcy, but the ball breaks down now, and we 5-6 bodies from either time in hoping to win it, but it's going to break back as far as that man Sean Crowley in the middle of the field, and Sean is going to recycle it back to his midfield partner, which is Sean Ronan, and Sean just takes a little snapshot on it and it's going to drift off and it's going to drift wide.
Yeah, I think credit there to Mark Pewter, Sean, you know, he came out over to get a block down originally on Sean Crowley, you know. Great defensive work from Callaghans Mills.
So ball back in possession as we see. It looks like John Cooney is actually making way at the far side. John, I didn't see who came on, but John definitely looks like he's making his way off the field, so we'll watch him. We'll see if we can pick up who's replacing him as the ball breaks as far as Sean Ronan. Sean Ronan plays it in front of Darcy again. Out he comes for it. He's trying to hold that ball up in front. He's 2-1 at the moment in favour of the Mills, and it's going to break as far as Adrian Donovan. Adrian carrying the ball out, has time to look up, and he delivers the ball straight in front of Jamie Keane. Jamie hoping to catch it on the bounce, but the ball breaks in front of everybody and it's going to still be there. Jamie Rowe lifts the ball, gets his strike off, and when you felt he had no room at all, he's still able to put the ball over the bar.
Great score from Jamie Keane. Again, it was the direct ball from Adrian Donovan, you know, but Jamie took his chance there. It looked like he had lost originally, but great score, certainly on fire today. So he is, you know, and the Mills will be looking to try and get the ball into him as quick and as fast as possible. He certainly has the Kilmaley backs at 6s and 7s at the minute.
Diarmuid O'Callaghan now has made his way onto the Kilmaley team. We're number 27, and Diarmuid is making his way up towards corner forward as we'll watch and see, and I think it's John Finucane possibly is the man who's making way from the far over wing. Indeed it is. Conor Clancy just giving John a pat in the back for his work over the last 53 minutes or so, and puck out comes, but it's broken down. It's broken as far as Callahan. Cahill is coming in, he's making his way inside the 21 up towards the 13. He went to kick it but he couldn't. Conor Cahill picks up the ball as it breaks down and he delivers the ball straight here in front of Sean Ronan, but Sean Ronan's not going to be able to keep it in play, and it's going to be a line ball again now for Kilmaley. 2-11 for the Mills, 17 points for Kilmaley. We're level pegging, 23, just under 24 minutes played here in the second half, but we are going to have, I suppose, a minimum of 2 minutes anyway additional to play. So as we look at it, we probably have 8 minutes to go, minimum of 8 minutes to go, as the referee now is just halting play at the moment due to an injury to one of the O'Callaghan's Mills forwards. We watched their medics run in, and I suppose, John, ever since the water break, it's up and down, it's over and back, and neither side is able to get away from the other.
Yeah, for sure, Sean, you know, and I suppose we'd have let off there for Kilmaley, you know, Carl Linehan attacked, you know, nobody had made themselves a bit, made a great run, about 40-45 yards of a run, you know. Mills be disappointed, didn't yield the score for them. You know, as soon as this injury is attended to know, you know, we'll have probably the Mills on the attack again with this line ball.
Yeah. And Fergal Gray just given every opportunity for the Mills forward just to get back up on his feet, and now we're ready. He blows the whistle and we'll be back underway here now with that line cut in. It goes in and over the 45 in towards the 21, but the only one reading it is Dara McMahon. Dara settles himself and delivers it down on top of the 21. He's looking for the new man in, which is Diarmuid O'Callaghan. Diarmuid is holding the ball in inside. He's still there, he still has possession. Coming to his aid was in the Aaron, but Diarmuid maintains possession, gives it back now as far as Barry Lynch. Barry, who has 1 point already scored since he came on, he tries that, is kept in play inside by Shane Darcy, but it only breaks as far as Henry Skehan. Henry Skehan's clearance comes as far as Sean Ronan, and Sean Ronan is going to punish him.
Great work from Sean Ronan. Sean, he didn't need to be asked the second time. The minute he caught the ball, you knew straight away the minute that Hurling was going straight over the bar.
So that puts the Mills back, that puts Kilmaley back into the ascendancy now. It's 18 points for Kilmaley, 2-11 for the Mills. We have just 25 and a half minutes played here in the second half as the ball breaks behind Kevin McNamara. Kevin gathers possession, takes a hefty tackle, frontal tackle, says referee Fergal Gray, and now this is going to give Kilmaley an opportunity to take a little bit of sting out of the time clock, plus out of the Mills attack.
Yeah, for sure, Sean. Kevin McNamara rather was coming out with that ball. He was met frontally by a Mills player, Kenny Timbers now. But I think it's going to just give lads a minute now to regroup. And you can see here in front of us, it looks like Conor Nealon is getting ready to enter the fray. Obviously, somebody with massive experience over a long number of years at senior level for Kilmaley. But they'll be looking to the likes of Conor now to start to see him home.
So Conor indeed is putting on his own helmet after losing his face guard, but John Finucane has just passed over his one for him, so Conor will be introduced shortly. We expect, and as you say, when you want big day players, Conor proved at senior level year in year out that he can be one of them.
Yeah, for sure. He was a great servant for Kilmaley for a long number of years. And he was just after getting a yellow card for that high challenge on Kevin McNamara.
So Gary McMahon now, the man standing over the free on his own 45. Gary delivers it in on top of the dropping it on the big square. It drops down, it's going to fall in the Aaron, put up the hand, but it just came out in his hands, and it's fallen in favour of I think it's Darren Cooney back there, and Darren is trying to work the ball out as we look now at the moment, but he cuts the ball over across, nipping in instead is Peter Ronan, I think. And can Peter take that opportunity? He can't. The ball goes to the right hand side and goes wide, but very nearly an opportunity presented to Kilmaley when the Mills were in control.
Oh, for sure, Sean, a let off definitely for Callaghans Mills. They had possession, they tried to work it out short, they put the ball across their own goal. I think it was Peter Ronan that intercepted it. He'll be disappointed he didn't get the score, but certainly let off for Callaghans Mills.
Kevin McNamara, the man who's made way over on the far side as Conor Nealon is introduced into the unusual position as we see him at the moment of wing back. Actually, you'd have been expecting possibly him to go in towards the forwards, but he's gone in at wing back instead of Kevin McNamara. So Kevin obviously not fully recovered from that challenge that he took moments earlier, and the management have decided with just 2 minutes plus additional time to play that is not putting the risk on it. So again, it's Sean Talty at the moment receiving attention, so I'd say we will have a number of stoppages now at the moment as we look at it. We definitely have 2 for the water break, but we possibly have another 3 or 4 even, John.
Yeah, for sure. We've had the medical personnel on a number of occasions. I'll certainly have a good bit of additional time. We've got Callaghans Mills here now on the attack again. It's been
Conor Nealon though cuts it out. Conor gets a little flick in it. He gets it as far as Éanna McMahon. Éanna now got it forward, but he only got it to his direct marker, and his direct marker is Airdrie Donovan playing at centre back. Donovan, he laid siege on the wall, but unfortunately for him it just drifts to the left hand side and goes wide, but an opportunity that the Mills could really have done with.
Yeah, look, Adrian come up the field and said he's had a massive influence on the game in the second half. He'll be disappointed with that. It was a big opportunity for him to level in.
So Gary McMahon again now at the moment with possession of the ball, and Gary's going to restart us. We get word that there's 5 minutes of additional time to be played here, so you're right, 5 to go as we head now at the moment just over the 29-minute mark. So we've 6 minutes of play yet to go as Conor Nealon delivers a crossfield ball inside, looking for Darcy inside. Out comes Shane gathers it, loses his man, and he may have been quiet, but when the score was needed, up he pops.
Yeah, for sure. Look, great crossfield ball. out in front of the danger man. You know, he caught it in his right hand. He kept the switch hand. Great score from Shane Darcy.
Puck out comes again and it goes over on top of Conor Nealon, but Conor this time is beaten to the ball, and a crossfield ball coming in on top of Jamie Keane. Jamie goes up, ball breaks in behind, and it's going to break all the way over, and it's going to break now as far as Dara McMahon with the clearance down the wing. It's Sean Ronan charging down towards it, but he leaves it instead. He leaves it as far as Peter plays it back to Sean, and Sean gets his opportunity, gets his strike. That's not going to carry regardless of the shouts of the crowd nearby, and in it goes as far as Inda Harn. Inda with possession now at the moment. He's just holding it up, but the umpire says that the ball has travelled out over the end line and has gone wide.
Yeah, wide ball, you know, another attack that Kilmaley will be disappointed they didn't get something out of.
So puck out coming again as the Mills try to build. Score stands 19 points for Kilmaley, 2-11, which is 17 for the Mills. 2 points in it. Conor Nealon is adjudged to have fouled the ball, and now it's going to be an opportunity as we head towards 30 and a half minutes. So we've 4.5 minutes to play. This is an opportunity to bring us back to a 1 point game.
Yeah, I think actually
it's a free out actually.
Free to Kilmaley for a foul on Conor. You know, it was a slightly high challenge. Take the sting out of the game now for a few seconds. So it will, you know, it's another opportunity for Kilmaley to attack and possibly stretch it out to 3 point lead.
And that new man in, Conor Nealon, is the man who's going to stand over the ball. Conor is, I suppose, about 50 yards out from his own goals at the moment, and he will be hoping possibly to have, you know, he's not even going to go for it. He's going to play the ball in towards the corner. Over it goes, and the ball is going to break out as far as Barry Lynch. Barry's charging for the ball, but a tanglement inside there, and Peter Ronan is adjudged to have tripped his direct marker as they were coming as well, and it's going to be a free out now towards the Mills, and an opportunity for them to get the ball down this end of the field to see with a minimum anyway of 3.5 minutes to play whether they can get another score. Jerhoy just showing the position to, I think it's Airdrie Donovan who's going to take it, and Airdrie places the ball, and he won't be taking too much time over this. He'll be wanting the ball in. As we say, we're into additional time. We've just under 32 played. 35 is what we're definitely having. The ball drops in the 21, and it drops as far as Sean Crowley, and Sean Crowley delivers a long relieving clearance. A race for possession. It's 2 against 1. 2 Mills players against 1, and Peter Ronan gathers the ball, and Peter holds possession, gets his shot off, but that shot is never going to come inside, and a small bit of anger there on the Kilmaley side, John. They would have felt that Peter was entitled to a free.
For sure, yeah, you know, there was a lot of shouts for Peter Paul, but at the end of the day, it's Tony Gray's making the decisions.
So the ball goes in, and it's a race again now for possession, and inside we're hoping to win the ball inside is the centre back again, which is Dara McMahon. Dara holding the ball, in it goes, still inside in the corner. The ball breaks to Shawnee Crowley. Shawnee Crowley now carries the ball, and Crowley delivers a clearance. Down it goes on top of the far down 65. Breaks though as far as Christy Pewter. Christy delivers that crossfield ball, but there's only one man over there and only one man waiting, and that now is cornerback Sean Talty. Sean Talty delivers the ball up the far over wing. Over it goes to Barry Lynch. Barry settles himself, delivers that hand pass to Conor Nealon. Conor just can't take possession, and the ball is going to break down again, and there's a battle over on the far side of the field. It's Callaghans Mills with the ball now through their number 22, which is Owen McInerney. Owen gets blocked down and into the possession of Kilmaley, and in the Harn it goes. Inda again just swivels around, delivers the ball, in it goes, in on top of Diarmuid O'Callaghan. Diarmuid is in a battle for possession, but he loses that battle, and Airdrie Donovan now is going to have an opportunity. He's going to leave the ball in, hoping to get over the half back line, but he doesn't, and instead it's Shawnee Crowley, that midfielder, number 8 on his back, that gets it away. Shawnee flicks the ball forward it comes to Barry Lynch. Barry Lynch is held up, and that's really going to take, I suppose, a minute or so off the clock now, which is something with 33.5 minutes gone the Mills could ill afford to do.
Yeah, for sure, Sean. You know, Kilmaley have withstood the last 2 or 3 Mills attacks. You know, they've got the ball out of there, particularly, you know, the midfield with Sean Ronan and Sean Crowley. They've slightly dropped back into the help out the defence. You know, they're certainly leading the line for Kilmaley in the last couple of minutes.
So it's going to be Shane Darcy to stand over this free. He's about, I suppose, 62 metres or so out from the O'Callaghan's Mills goals. You wouldn't expect that he'll have any trouble with distance given the form that he's in at the moment. The question will be his accuracy, but there goes the free. Distance is definitely there. Hands by the Kilmaley supporters were up in the air before the umpire ever went for the white flag, and the lead is extended now. 20 points for Kilmaley, 2-11 to Callaghans Mills. Puck out taken in the hands of Conor Nealon. Conor gets Kilmaley back in on the charge. He gives it in as far as Enda Harn, and Enda now racing for possession. He just wants to hold it in there. The Mills, as we say, in the ascendancy, in the descendancy at the moment. 3 points down. They're going to need a goal because we've 34 and a half minutes nearly played at the moment. So free out now for Callaghans Mills, and this could be their last opportunity to see if they can bring us to extra time.
Yeah, for sure. This is only going one place, Sean. That's the edge of the square. You know, the Mills are going to need a goal at this stage. You know, time is almost up. It could be possibly their last attack. You know, Kilmaley have flooded the majority of their players back into the fin, so they have.
Ball dropping though. It's dropping about 30 yards out from goals. Up went Dara McMahon. Dara battled it out, but they're adjudged to have been a free in. But again, a free in is no good. This ball is going to have to go in around the house, John, and I suppose it's coming from 40 metres out, so it's going to be a delicate enough ball to drop in from this distance.
For sure, yeah, they've no choice but to try and work a goal from it. You know, we're past 35 and a half minutes now. It looks like that it's Adrian Donovan is going to hit it. You know, Adrian's very good striker of the ball now. Anything is possible. You know, there's a lot of bodies between Adrian and the goal.
So Adrian, as you say, just standing back. He's possibly not even going to drop it in. By the way he's looking, he's going to run back. He's going to take his steps in. He's going to go from it from here, and we're going to see where it ricochets. Possibly in it goes. It's saved. There goes a goal. It's a goal for the Mills, and we are possibly heading for extra time. 3-11 for the Mills. 20 points for Kilmaley. There's no way to describe that, John.
What a finish, you know, an unbelievable strike from Adrian Donovan. It was a great save in the goal from Gary McMahon. Not sure who finished it.
I think it was Jamie again, if I'm not mistaken. I think when it rebounded out, possibly Jamie Keane was the man waiting, got a flick on it, and he could have got the hat-trick for today.
He could have, yeah. You know, unbelievable finish here in Father Murphy Park in Newmarket. You know, the Callaghans Mills, they looked dead and buried. You know, they were the 3 points down. But up stood Adrian Donovan. He, you know, 35 yards out, an absolute rocket of a ball. A goalie saved it, and you know, the Mills forwards finished it. And now we've extra time here to look forward to.
So as we just wait and see, we're going to go back down to pitch side. They're not ready here maybe at the moment, but I suppose, John, like, one of the biggest things you have to give credit to O'Callaghans Mills, like, they were chasing the game the whole time, and right up to the very last puck of the game they just kept going and managed to get enough scores to bring this to another 20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure, Sean. Look, and I suppose it's we're seeing that all year from O'Callaghans Mills at all levels, be it minor, you know, yesterday, even, you know, in the senior this year, and also obviously, you know, there's a never say die attitude from the teams, you know. That's obviously filtering through all the teams in the club, you know.
Yeah. And now we're going to go back down pitch side and down to Michael O'Connor and Pádraig McMahon.
Ladies and gentlemen, back here at pitch side, we've just had the drama of all dramas. The game was in the 65th minute, as you've watched there on Clare TV, and Kilmaley were holding a 3-point lead, and we don't know who got it yet. We're number 29, but it's not an official programme with Pádraig McMahon. We're facing extra time, and something none of us wanted to push. It's still a great game.
Well, the Mills, I'm sure, would have loved for extra time. Maybe the neutrals were hoping to get up to the intermediate final, but yeah, we had said the Mills weren't beaten until it was going to be over, and they've proved that. You could sense something was going to happen. You know, the free being given, they could have nearly brought the 15 back just to line the goal and keep it going. But yeah, Kilmaley could have killed them off though. At the same time, they didn't. They had some very bad wides. You know, poor decision making as well, that they didn't kill the Mills off, and they'd be hoping now that won't come back to bite them, because a defeat to lose this game would haunt Kilmaley for years if they didn't come out of Newmarket with the win today.
I suppose we probably thought at half time, with Kilmaley holding a 5 or 6 point lead, that it was probably enough. But the Mills struck hard early on in the second half with a couple of points, and then we were going, there's something happening here, and Kilmaley weren't able to handle it.
No, definitely the Mills management, I think, have to take a lot of credit. They restructured their team a bit. Ronan Kelly came in at cornerback and did very well on Shane Darcy from open play. Now Shane's been good on the frees, but he hasn't done as much damage in the second half from open play, and I think that's down to Ronan Kelly. He's on the Mills senior panel as well. Adrian Flaherty has moved looked up, hasn't had much of a difference. But I think the decision to take off John Glassy on the Kilmaley side of things has had, I'm not sure was it injury related or not, but he was very dominant in the first half, and they took him off early enough in the second. So it's, the subs the Mills has made a difference. Even we've seen, as we don't know, the mystery man number 29, whoever he was, got the goal. James McNamara came on here wing forward. He's got 2 points.
The Callaghans Mill subs have seemed to do a lot more. The Kilmaley subs have just came on, but it hasn't delivered. They haven't delivered scores.
No, the Kilmaley subs don't seem to be up to the pace of it. Like, they're getting the ball, taking the wrong decisions. Conor Nealon has come in there. I'd like to see a bit more of him now. He didn't get much when he came in for Kevin McNamara in the last 5 minutes, so he could have a big role to play now in extra time. But on the whole, as you say, the Mill subs had the greater impact so far.
I suppose you had mentioned before the game there was a change where Jamie Keane started, and Jamie Keane has had a big thing. He's got goals, and if Kilmaley had 1 goal got in this game was going to be over, and they probably would run by 10 mentally. But the Mills with Jamie Keane, I think tatting up maybe 2-2, 2-3.
Yeah, 2-3. He's been very good so far, Jamie Keane. His touch excellent, his wrists fantastic so far. But Kilmaley at the other end just aren't testing Henry Skehan in goals. Like, his puck outs have great distance, but we haven't seen what can he do to, in terms of shot stopping, and I think he's there to be tested a bit more. Like, we've seen the Kilmaley full forward line are getting great scores from open play, but just haven't seen what can they do, one-on-one on goals. They're not taking on the Mills back. Adrian Donovan's going well at full back, and as I said, Ronan Kelly has come into it. Niall Donovan has been made look very good at wing back for the Mills. You just need to take on the Mills backs and see what they have.
The Mills to me look like a team that, as we discussed at half time, they knew, as you said, they knew they were going out of the championship, and they've hit hard. They've done everything. A team that's fighting for their lives. I mean, they've lost a couple of finals in the last 2 or 3 years, and no more so than Kilmaley. We've discussed this all week. These 2 teams, whoever loses this mightn't be seen again.
It'll be a massive setback. Even to lose a county final is obviously a heartbreak, but to do it after extra time. So whichever flip of the coin, if it's Kilmaley that are the team that have gone and thrown it away, or if it's the Mills that found this new lease of life in the second half and then didn't build on it in extra time, I think you're right, there will be repercussions for either side in terms of bouncing back from this one. It will be a bitter pill to swallow, whoever doesn't come out on top.
And I suppose something we discussed, you had alluded to the fact that the Mills are looking sharp. They've finished strong. All the work they're doing with the senior team shows that they were working hard with the senior team continuously. And I suppose if you want to push on the side, it shows even the Mills senior team have refused to die in every game this year. So next Sunday might not be the bookies have warm fair at 600 Bridge, but bearing the heartless in this Mills junior team, the way their minors won last night, and we discussed before full time as the game started, it's going to be, there could be something big in the Mills.
Oh, definitely. I think whether it's under 6, junior A or senior, you never write off the Mills. There's always great fight in them, and we've seen that today, that they've refused to lie down, and we will see it again next weekend when they take on 6 Mile Bridge in the county final. So Fergal Gray is calling the teams back in. I think Kilmaley's bench is worth pointing out as well, Michael. I think with extra time you get back to your full cohort of subs that can come in. Kilmaley seem to have a stronger panel overall, but as we've said, the Mills have been training at senior level with their...
And the Mills have made more use of their subs so far.
Exactly, so what's going to happen, that again, so far normal time probably the Mills made better use of the bench, but if Kilmaley can rectify that now in the second half, it'll be a big factor.
What can you say as a manager? We've been all in it. What can you say as a manager to these 2 teams that have given everything for probably it's nearly an hour and a half hurling between half time and the water breaks and everything? What more can you ask of a team?
Well, it's just the old cliche, they just have to empty the tank now, because they won't hurl again for the rest of the year. So you just have to leave every drop. I know you spoke about the weather and the heat. It is lovely weather for us as spectators, but the lads are sweating. The water breaks are much needed today, but it is just to leave everything you have out there. And just to be smart in the use of possession is going to be key, because some of them are just lumping the ball at times, but best ball into the forward is going to come out on top here today.
And definitely, they definitely tied up, as you said, Darcy. The 2 corner forwards for Kilmaley were making hay in the first half. They were invisible this half. The Mills really did their homework, tied down Aidan McMahon, who was delivering a great ball, tied down. Now I must say Sean Crowley has had a powerful second half for the Kilmaley men.
Yeah, definitely, but it is smart game management from the Mills so far. But like Kilmaley just have to do what they were doing in the first half when they were on top, rectify it, go again, get the bright ball into the forwards, and if the likes of Darcy or Aidan McMahon aren't in the game, do something to bring them into the game, because their key men have to be in the game for them to win.
And I suppose we'd probably let you back up there to Sean and to John in the commentary box.
The commentary side, as we just watched Kilmaley taking their positions at the moment, and we're going to start the first half of extra time. the same way as the second half. So Kilmaley will be defending the town end goal as we look at it here in the market, and they'll be playing down towards the housing estate at the far end, and we'll just keep a look around. There doesn't look to be too many changes from what finished, but as we go we'll see what way it is. Fergal Gray waiting for a ball in his hand. He now has it. He asks all teams to get beyond the 65 metre line before he'll go and throw it in, and ball in hand. Here we go for the first of the 10 minutes. 3-11 to Callaghans Mills, 20 points for Kilmaley. And John, I suppose when you get to this situation, it's going to be a case of who can sometimes last longest.
For sure, yeah, we'll see now straight away the Mills are on the attack. Obviously they've taken out the confidence from the second half, heading for goal again.
Straight in on top of the 21, opportunity is there, and it is, and it's in the back of the net. And this time it is definitely Jamie Keane who has finished it, and Jamie is racking up the opening score and the opening goal of extra time. 4-11 now for Callaghans Mills, 20 points for Kilmaley, a 3-point lead here with just 30 seconds on the clock for the Mills. And I suppose we must confirm as well, we're told David McGrath was the man who brought us here to extra time. He was the man who got the flick in it. So from the 4 goals, 3 from Jamie and 1 from David, and all of a sudden Callaghans Mills find themselves 3 points up, and a free now to come for them as on their own 45 metre line as we look at it, and they have an opportunity. But what a start for Callaghans Mills, John.
A great start for Callaghans Mills, Sean. Goals are big scores in matches. They've 4 on the board today. They've 10 scored up to today over a course of 3 matches. Great start for the Mills now. They're going to look to build on that, and drive it home.
And standing over it is that man who took the free from 40 yards out just before the end of normal time, which is Airdreen Donovan, and Airdreen drops the ball in. It looks like it's going to hold up, and up went Jamie, but the ball breaks down as far as David, and David McGrath, the man in possession. David still has possession, gets it across it over, looking for Jamie again, but it's going to break to Sean Talty, and Sean is going to settle himself, and he's going to put Kilmaley now into their first attack of this first half of additional time. So up go Kilmaley. They're looking up, they're trying to engineer that score. Crossfield ball being played, looking for runners to come and show them for themselves. Ian McMahon is the man who does. Ian gets inside the Callaghans Mills defence, gets it back here as far as Indaharn, and Indaharn was looking for Barry Lynch, but Barry just couldn't get to the height of the ball, and over it goes. Ian comes as far as Cahill Linehan. Cahill trying to win possession. Cahill on the back of his direct opponent, which is Sean Talty, and a free now for Kilmaley, and an opportunity for them to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, an opportunity for Kilmaley. It's been all of Callaghans Mills since the restart, and Kilmaley will be looking out to try and get a score on the board just to stem the tide, and get them back in the match.
And it's going to be Shane Darcy. Shane is the man who's going to come out. He's I suppose just 60 yards or so out from his own goal, so it'll, given the 60 minutes we've already gone through and the heat that's here, it'll take some opportunity or some strike at the ball for Shane to convert this one.
Yeah, for sure, and I think as well, it's going to be a big test of both teams to see, who's the fitter as we move into extra time. And Shane answered the questions there. Great score. Bring it back to a 2-point match now.
So 20 points for Kilmaley, 4-11 for Callaghans Mills, and the ball is in possession of Henry Skeen, and he's going to get us back underway. We've just under 3 minutes now played in extra time, the first half of extra time here in the Junior A final of Clare, and the ball breaks, and it breaks down into the centre. Tussle for possession, one over on the far side by Callaghans Mills, and they deliver that ball in. They're looking for Cahill Linehan inside. Cahill gets his hands to the ball, he gets his strike off. Can he make it pay? Indeed he can, and given the pressure he was under, John, as we said, we must, I suppose, speak about the heat that's in it. Like today, it's a sapping day in terms of energy, and that was some score from Cahill.
For sure, yeah. Cahill has a big shift today now. With a lot of work done over the course of the hour.
And the ball delivered in again. It's delivered there by Sean Ronan in. The Kilmaley lads were hoping for a late challenge to be called, but referee Fergal Gray says no. On we go, and the Mills turn the ball over, looking for Jamie inside. Jamie puts up the hand, but the ball breaks behind himself and Connor. Jamie has no hurley, but he has the body strength to get Connor out of the way, and in it goes. The ball is kicked out over the end line by Martin O'Connor, the full back inside for Kilmaley, and it's going to be a 65 now for Callaghans Mills, and they'll look to get back into the 3-point lead.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose, look, Jamie had no hurley inside there, thrown his body in the line, showed savage desire and want to hold the ball up there, so he did, and resulted in the winning of a 65, which he's going to hit himself. The Mills have certainly started the extra time, Sean, a lot stronger than Kilmaley. They're taking the game to Kilmaley, so they are, every ball is being fought for, across the field, and Jamie has an opportunity now with another score on the board for him.
Yeah, and Jamie in no hurry whatsoever to come out for this 65 as he just places the ball down. He is, I suppose, 10 yards or so to the left hand side of the goals as we look at it, and he'll be hoping that this will be another opportunity which he converts to add to his 3 goals and 3 points that he's already scored. So the shot goes in and Jamie makes no mistake and he converts his latest opportunity. So 3-4 now for Jamie, and that is a return that he'll be very happy with today.
Massive strike, Sean, it cleared the big net at the back of the goal, so it is straight as a die. Big score now, and we're in for a big 5 minutes here in the second half of the first half of extra time.
So the ball goes now and it goes short as far as Dara McMahon. Dara swivels, turns and delivers that ball straight in front of Darcy. Darcy gets his hands to the ball, beats his 3 opponents that were trying to take him on, recycles the ball out as far as his partner in crime, Peter Ronan, in the far corner, and Peter makes no mistakes to convert that chance.
Yeah, great score from Peter Ronan. Great work from Shane Darcy. He held it up. He was under pressure until a man appeared, gave the ball to a man in a better position. Great score for Kilmaley to bring it back to 2.
So on we go now. 4:13 is the Callaghans Mills, 22 points for Kilmaley. Ball breaking down behind and breaking back inside is Martin O'Connor. Martin delivers the ball as far as Barry Lynch. Barry Lynch now turns, delivers it in over the heads of the half forward line, comes as far as Éanna McMahon. Éanna steadies himself, gets his strike off, and that looks a good one, and indeed it is. And Kilmaley really starting to answer back that goal from earlier on.
For sure, Sean. Yeah, great score for Éanna McMahon. It was a fast ball in from Barry Lynch. He looked up, he saw that Éanna had a run on Barry Heffernan. Inch perfect ball, resulting in a great score for Kilmaley.
Puck out coming down the far side. Up goes the attacker Christy Philpott. Christy delivers the ball in front of Jamie, but it's going to break. It's going to break in behind. First man there is going to be Martin O'Connor. Martin can't get the ball up into his hand though. A slight push in the back, says referee Fergal Gray, as he was going down over it, and that will give Kilmaley the opportunity again now just to relieve this pressure. So we watch and we see what Gary McMahon is going to do with it here in the goal. We've just 6 3/4 minutes at the moment gone, so we have just over 3 minutes or so to play in this first period of extra time, and the ball drops down and drops inside Peter Ronan. Peter going for the ball, but he can't get it up. Second attempt into his hands, swivels it back as far as Barry Lynch. Barry now shortens the grip, plays a crossfield ball, over it goes as far as Sean Talty. Sean meant to be below in the bottom corner wearing that number 2 jersey, but shows up, and but he's blocked down in the position he's in. He goes chasing the ball again. The ball breaks down. Sean is the judge to have chopped as he came in with that tackle, and the Mills are going to have an opportunity now to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, it also gives both sets of teams a bit of a break. It's been very, very intensive in twins since the start of extra time. There's a roasting hot day here in Newmarket, and both teams are being pushed to the limit. Adrian Donovan now is down injured. From Callaghans Mills' perspective, hopefully he's okay. He's had a massive influence on the match, in particular since he came out centre back.
And just attention being given, as you say, at the moment here, and so we're just going to wait until he's treated and we'll restart again. The score 4:13 for O'Callaghans Mills, 23 points for Kilmaley, and I suppose we knew, talking to the 2 managers, Conor Clancy for Kilmaley and Kevin Salmon, during the week, that both of them, they did say it could go to the wire. They did say it would be a lucky break either way, and you just have to wonder, was that lucky break the goal at the end of normal time to get to extra time?
For sure, Sean. I think the Mills looked to be in big trouble. Like, the clock was almost at 35. We've been told it was 35 minutes. They got the free. It was a super strike from Adrian Donovan. And they took the opportunity when it presented themselves to drive it into extra time. They have been putting up big scores all year. As Mills in particular, they've got goals. The 10 goals got up to today. The 4 got today again. And see what happens here from Adrian Donovan.
So Adrian now patched up from that injury she had earlier, delivers the ball 30 yards down, and it's going to break, and it's going to break inside for James McNamara. James gets down over the ball, he looks to cross that ball over it comes. Where's the ball going to break? It's going to break for Jamie, and in 2-3 different ones, the ball is struck on the ground. A strike came in from I think Shane Crean was the man who got the strike, but Gary McMahon was equally adept at dealing with that shot from Shane, and it now gives Kilmaley an opportunity, but had that gone in, John, it would have been a long road back.
Yeah, great save from Gary McMahon. You know, it was a ground strike from Shane Crehan, and you know, Gary got down good and low. Big moment in the match. You know, I would have put 4 points between it just as we were approaching, but it's still a 1 point game now.
So the ball breaks, and it breaks here as far as Sean Crowley. Sean gathers the ball, delivers it low inside in front of his full forward line. First touch is good, the shot not so from Éanna McMahon, and the ball drifts to the left hand side, drifts out and drifts wide, and the score remains 4-13 for Callaghans Mills, which is 25 points, 23 points for Kilmaley, and we just have 9 minutes 50 on the clock, so we've 10 seconds plus whatever Fergal plays for the additional time here in the first half of extra time, as Henry just gets us back underway. Henry Skehan with that puck out, down it goes to the far side. Where's it going to break? Sean Talty is the man who gets a flick in it. Sean gathers possession, he's looking for Barry Lynch, but it's going to go over the head of Barry Lynch. Barry comes a second time, ball is turned over however, and now Kilmaley takes a heavy shoulder there from Sean Talty, delivers it in front, and the runners are coming off the shoulder, but they came too fast, and the ball is going to travel out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball to Conor Cahill over there on the far side into Kilmaley.
Yeah, we can see a little bit of tiredness now starting to creep in, you know, with 70 minutes played, and you know, on an unbelievably hot day, and you know, we're starting to see mistakes now gradually creeping into play on both sides, you know, and like, the team that you get out of here with the cup will be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes.
So Kilmaley now 30 yards or so from their own goal. That cut comes in, it goes as far as the 65. The ball is dropped and it's held there. Peter Ronan, I think, is the man who's out there in front, but it's the Mills who turn it over. Chance coming. In came a strong challenge from Dara McMahon. Now Dara just does enough to put off the O'Callaghan's Mills attackers, and Fergal Gray decides with that opportunity he brings an end to the first half of additional time, and we now say that Callaghans Mills 4 goals and 13 points, which is 25 as we say. Kilmaley 23 points, and we have 10 more minutes to go, John.
Yeah, 10 more minutes, you know, and I suppose credit due to both teams, like, and compliment them on. It's been an unbelievable 70 minutes hurling. You know, the standard is exceptionally high here. Like, some of the scores that we've seen from both teams now, you know, are of an exceptional quality. You know, the point taken, you know, the interlinking play, the movement off the ball, you know, the space that both teams are creating. You know, we saw in the first half in particular, you know, Kilmaley, they make sure to get enough space in front of that full forward line, and you know, Callaghans Mills were under serious pressure in the full back line from Peter Ronan and from
Shane Darcy,
you know, and I suppose then the Mills thundered back into it, you know, and like, I suppose if we, you know, Jamie Keane is their go-to man up front, you know, in any level, in any grade, you know, to get 3 goals in a county final is a massive statement, you know, and it's all still to play for. You know, the Mills are 2 ahead, but you know, who's to say, you know, that Kilmaley, you know, they come out of this break here and go at the Mills again.
Yeah, and I suppose, look, the one thing we didn't have an opportunity maybe to speak earlier, and like with the year that was in it, and I suppose the restrictions and trainings and with everything, like, you have to give due to, I suppose, Conor Clancy, his backroom team, which is Kieran Cullen, Anthony Cahill, that man who he, I suppose, soldiered with for Kilmaley for so many years, and Dermot Maher, and then they have Brian O'Loughlin there on stats as well with him, and for Kevin Salmon you've Ollie Nash, you've Paul Heffernan, you've Jack McNamara, Mike Jones and Fergus Donovan. Again, I suppose, like, when you look through those names and you look at the 2 clubs, like, a lifetime of work gone in between all those men with their own clubs.
Yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of club stalwarts there on both sides of the page. You know, but I also think as well, you know, a lot of teams this year, you know, at all grades, you know, they didn't have much pre-season, they didn't have much prep, but the amount of work the teams have got in such a short space of time has been, you know, phenomenal. And even the condition of both teams here today, like, while we are seeing tiredness and you know, there's 1 or 2 lads starting to cramp that are coming into it, but in general, like, you know, the fitness levels of both teams here today is exceptional. So it is. And you know, it's going to come down now to really, like, who wants it the most here. You know, like, at the date it looked like, you know, that Kilmaley were going to be crowned Junior A champions. Mills got a goal, you know, and Mills took the game then to him in extra time, and like, I think we're in for an absolute brilliant last 10 minutes, you know, here, and it will come down to who wants it the most.
And I suppose, look, we have to give credit, like, over the course of the weekend, we've 4 live finals here on Clare GA TV over the weekend, but even with Borden and Og, I think they have 8 finals on, 7 outside of the one we showed yesterday. So like, the work, I suppose, of both boards and that to get the games played and in the manner in which they were played and the enjoyment in which they were played was a big thing too.
I couldn't agree with you more, Sean, you know, and it is a credit to everyone involved in both the board level and also both club levels, and the standard of hurling is huge. Like, I was at the 14 final yesterday between 6 Mile Ridge and Ina, and the level of how good the hurling was, you'd have to see it to believe it, you know, and considering that all teams across all age groups, you know, didn't get a lot of credit, and it's credit to them.
So we're back underway here now at the moment, and again straight away it's Callaghans Mills, and in possession there of Owen McInerney. Owen gets blocked down, he gets blocked down by Enda Hearn. Enda gets the ball as far as Sean Crowley. Sean Crowley short grip of the stick, he's looking inside for Shane Darcy. Shane gets out in front, he keeps the ball in front of him all the time, still at the ball in front, but it's not in his possession as yet. There's going to be a battle in soon. The ball is going to break, and it's going to break as far as the Callaghans Mills players, and the Callaghans Mills now carrying that ball up the far side touchline. Here they come up to 45 metres out. The ball is transferred in, looking for Jamie. The ball breaks in behind again, and it's the new man, which was David McGrath, the man who brought us here to extra time today. He's under pressure from Conor Cahill. Conor stands him up, but he managed to get inside him, gets the shot off, and another great save. The performance of Gary McMahon today for Kilmaley has been a big thing to make sure that they still have a chance of winning this.
For sure, yeah, great save from Gary again there. You know, David McGrath took the defender on, got around him, you know, shot, kept it low to the ground, and you know, Gary got down over the match. You know, we've a 65 now, which I'm sure, you know, almost straight in front of the goals, which I'm sure Jamie Keane will take. You know, and he'll be hoping to push it back out to 3 points between the two teams. You know, and you know, we've two minutes almost on the clock.
So it's as you say, Jamie making his way slowly out towards the 65. He's now just reaching Ger Hoy, and Ger points to the spot of where he puts the ball down, so we'll wait and see. He is only slightly right of the goal, so you would expect that Jamie will capitalise on this opportunity, and he'll extend the Callaghans Mills here in the second half of extra time in the Clare Junior A hurling final for 2020. So we watch and we see as Jamie delivers that strike, and he does deliver it straight over the bar. Another score for Callaghans Mills, another score for Jamie, and it's now 4-14 for Callaghans Mills, 23 points for Kilmaley. And you get the feeling maybe, John, Kilmaley might need a goal if they're going to win this one.
Yeah, there's a big couple of players coming up for Kilmaley now. So there's, you know, the Mills are in the driving seat at the minute, so they are, you know, they're looking fresher, they're looking fitter. And they're on the attack again. Ian
Donlan was just trying to offload that ball, but it breaks down. He's still in there, he's still over the ball. The ball is going to break out, and it's going to break as far as Kilmaley number 20, which is Conor Nealon, and Conor gets tripped as he was going for the ball, and it's going to be an opportunity now for Kilmaley to deliver the ball in. I'd say it could be Conor himself that's going to stand over this free, but it looks of things. But you were saying, John, obviously you were at the 14 final yesterday. That went to extra time too, so I suppose the only similarity between both of them is that you were there, so we have you to thank for an extra 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, but I think in general, like any of the games I've seen this year, you know, at any level, like the standard has been exceptional, you know, considering the amount of training that was condensed down into such a short period of time.
So here we go now, this opportunity comes in, and it's Shane Darcy who went out to hit it. The Kilmaley subs beside us are happy with it, the umpires are happy with it, the ball is over the bar. We're back again to a 2-point game, 4-14 for Callaghans Mills, 24 points for Kilmaley. We have just 3 minutes on the clock here now as we look at it, and it's Henry Skehan who's going to get us back underway with his latest puck out, and here he goes down the stand side of the field as we look at it here now at the moment. Who's going to win this one as it breaks down in front of everybody? Ball still on the ground to be won, and there it is in the hands of Sean Crowley, and Sean hand passes the ball loose. Conor Nealon is coming up after, but Conor's going to be beaten to it. He might get an opportunity to win it back though. Conor is 45 metres out. He's going to deliver in, it's going to drop short, it's going to hold up, and Henry's going to hit it, but he doesn't get contact with it first time. He gets it away the second time, breaks as far as Niall McNamara, and Niall McNamara delivers the ball down here 50 yards out from goal at the moment as we look, as the ball is going to break, but where's it going to break to? The ball, it's going to be a flick in there by the Barry Lynch, I think, was trying to win the ball. He tried to flick it forward, but Fergal Gray judges that it was a chop more than a flick, and the Mills now are going to have an opportunity, and you'd expect that Jamie Keane is going to make a slow walk out from the square for this one.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I suppose a let off at the other end for Callaghans Mills. You know, a bit of uncertainty from Henry when the ball came in. You know, he pulled it, missed it, but they got it out, and you know, Cahill Linehan got him on the attack again. You know, he's been very busy, so he is today, and won the free. You know,
killed the bit of pressure that they were under at that point in time. And look, you know, Jamie will fancy his chances now. He's on his own 65, but the way he's striking the ball, you know, confidence will be very high, almost dead centre in front of the goal. You know, he's going to fancy stretching it back out to 3 points.
And Fergal is just waiting as attention has been received just by one of the Callaghans Mills defenders at the moment, and he's not going to start it again until such a time as he's happy that the player is good enough and able enough to continue. So it's going to be a couple of minutes now for Jamie Keane just to I suppose get his latest opportunity, but you'd have to say, John, we knew coming into it that we could have a high standard final based on the previous years between and how far both clubs had got in previous years, but we're being served up some treat by both sides.
For sure, Sean. Yeah, you know, and it's super hurling. Like it's, you know, it's 15 on 15. That's every man winning his one position, so he's doing the right thing with the ball. You know, both teams are going flat out here. Like there's, you know, you would know well that it is a county final with the desire and want from both sets of teams to win every ball, fight for every ball, you know, and signing the rucks. There's no quarter being asked or being given, so there isn't.
Oh, and Jamie now he's going to have the opportunity. Darren Cooney was the man who was down. I think he was down with cramp, and in fairness, he was down for quite a bit before play stopped. So it wasn't that he even was trying to delay time, as Jamie now on his own 65 has the distance. Has he got the accuracy? I think he has. White flag is going for, and another monster score from Jamie Keane.
Great score, Sean. You know, he was on his own 65, so he was, I know it was in the centre, but he still had to put it over. A great score, a player right on top of his game today.
3-6 today now for Jamie so far. He's contributed 3 goals and I think 1 point from play. The remainder coming off his stick from a free, but it's opportunity now for Kilmaley. A straight hand pass, out it goes, in the goal. They're going to go looking for this goal, taken out of it inside, and it's going to be a free in now. I think Alan O'Dea was the man who was coming across there, and Alan just decided that the safest option was to stop the run early.
Yeah, you know, I think there was a lot of experience used in the decision making there. Sean Fergal Gray's having a word with him, you know. It looked a possible goal for Kilmaley. You know, I know it was 35 yards out, but they had to run under the fence, and you know, I suppose some would consider it a word for Callaghans Mills, possibly a cheap free to give away.
So we've 7 minutes on the clock here in the second half of extra time, as Shane Darcy just taps that ball straight over the bar and he reduces the gap back. So it's 4-15, which is 27 points for Callaghans Mills. It's 25 points for Kilmaley, 2 point game, and as we say, we have 3 minutes plus whatever additional that Fergal is going to add on to play here. Here comes the puck out, down it goes down the far side, looking out underneath it was the cornerback, which is Sean Talty. Sean breaks out, plays the ball forward. Who's he going to find? He finds he's in number 12, David Lynch, who's been reintroduced. He was taken off during normal time, back in again here during extra time, recycles the ball back over as far as Darcy, and Darcy splits the post with another from play, and all of a sudden it's 4-15 to 27.
Yeah, great score, you know, a great run first of all, I suppose, from David Lynch. He laid the ball off to Shane Darcy, you know, and Shane wouldn't look at the post, you know, to bring it back to the minimum.
So Henry Skehan again with this one, and he's going to give the puck out here now. He's going to deliver it long down the stand side of the field, and the ball is going to drop roughly about 45 metres out from his own goals. Up they all go, but it's grabbed by the Callaghans Mills forwards, worked as far as Ian Donlan. Ian takes his opportunity, and that's some answer to the score there a couple of minutes ago by Shane Darcy.
For sure, yeah, I suppose a great take from the puck out from Rory McNamara. He caught the puck out from Henry Skehan, laid it off to Ian Donlan, and a big score for Callaghans Mills to put 2 between them again.
So the ball breaks in behind Peter Power. Barry Lynch is over now. Barry is in possession. He's trying to get up that side of the field. He gets beyond the attention of Mark Pewter. Mark is following him. Barry plays a crossfield ball. He's looking over there for the same man, but instead overweighting for it was Niall McNamara. Niall gathers the ball on his own 21, delivers it long. The ball breaks behind. Who's going to get there? It's David Lynch again. David hooked this time in possession, turned over to the Mills. Now they've open ground in front of him if they can take this opportunity. opportunity. They're 30 yards out, heading towards the 21. Overlay comes, a small bit of maybe charging forward. They've run into trouble, and I don't think Kilmaley will be happy with that decision.
No, they did accuse him of charging, but to be fair, Martin O'Connor had his arms wrapped around him. Fergus had a good view of it. There's a massive opportunity here now for Jamie Keane to push the lead out again to 3 points. We've less than 30 seconds of the 10 minutes left now. We probably have some injury time because we've had a couple of injuries from on both sides. But a big opportunity here now for Callaghans Mills.
So 4-16 for Callaghans Mills is 26 points for Kilmaley, and Jamie is going to have this opportunity now, as you say, just to extend the lead out that little bit more. As you said at the start, maybe sometimes it is your year. Minor B champions already this weekend, John. They're heading now for possibly the Junior A unless they can see the goal at this stage, it looks like, and they still have the big one to come.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Fergal Gray has signalled that there's 2 minutes of additional time. Callaghans Mills bench over there. I see Fergus Donovan, Kevin Salmon, they're out in the field issuing instructions, so they are hoping no doubt to get their team over the line.
So Jamie takes that opportunity, he taps it over the bar, and it's 4-16 now for 28 points for O'Callaghans Mills. It's 26 points for Kilmaley. The 2 point game is caught in there by Enda. Enda wins the free. Enda Hearn, the man who caught that puck out, won the free, and Kilmaley now are going to have an opportunity to maybe reduce the deficit again.
Yeah, Sean, opportunity here for Kilmaley. We're got a minute over. We're got a minute over already, so we are. They're going to have to lob it in. They've no choice. Conor Nealon's going to strike this, so he is. Potentially one of the last attacks Kilmaley will have to find a way through to get an equaliser.
The scoreboard at the moment on the pitch is saying 2 points. I have it at 3, John, I think. I'll be expecting this ball will be dropped in. And I think Rory McGann is saying that this is possibly one of the last plays. As it goes in, it's travelling back out. Out it comes as far as O'Callaghans Mills. They're going to break forward as far as the 45. A free one there now, straight away by O'Callaghans Mills, and they're going to get to take any bit of sting out of this game that they can. We have 11 and a half minutes gone, so possibly 20 to 30 seconds to go, but by the time they strike this ball, you would expect it'll only be a matter of seconds at the most.
Yeah, for sure. Look, Adrian Donovan is going to land this. If he can put it out over the wall, that's where he'll put it. It looks like this is going to be the last play. It looks like the Mills are about to be crowned Junior A champions for the first time ever. And let's see where Adrian puts this.
And indeed the scoreboard has just been changed here at the venue. It is indeed, we were right, 4-17 for Callaghans Mills, 26 for Kilmaley. 3 point game as it drops in around the house. 5 drops in and it's going to come out. It comes out as far as Jamie Keane. Jamie Keane went to put his hand on it, but the ball was dislodged from that as he was trying to win it. And Kilmaley break out, but they're not going to get an opportunity. And indeed it is O'Callaghans Mills Day. It's Jamie Keane's day. It's 4-17 for O'Callaghans Mills. 26 points for Kilmaley, and really we need to talk, John, about Jamie Keane and them 3 goals, and he had 3-7 today is what he contributed to that score.
For sure, yeah. Jamie had an exceptional day. It's a dream county final. I think if you look out in the field there, you can see what it means to Callaghans Mills. They'll be knocking on the door of the Junior A for the last number of years, and it's like anything, you finally get over the line. It's a sense of relief and euphoria. I think if we look over the Mills teams, like the Mills team, they're exceptional performances from a lot of players. Like I thought Adrian Donovan was exceptional, in particular when he came to centre back. When the tide wasn't necessarily going with the Mills, like he certainly led the line. I thought as well that John Cooney, Christy Philpott, Barry Heffernan when he went back to full back as well, he steadied the ship. But I think today will be about one person, and that is Jamie Keane. To score 3-7 in a county final at any grade is a phenomenal achievement. A 3-1 from play, and certainly he'll be the toast of the Mills for a couple of days. So
that's it. And I suppose unfortunately we just can't stay with the match for the presentation due to the fact that we have to be in Cusack Park for the intermediate hurling final at 4:30. So as we take our leave here from Newmarket on a glorious sunshine day, it's O'Callaghans Mills Day, victorious success here in the Junior A Hurling Championship for 2020. We send our congratulations to the Callaghans Mills Club, commiserations to Kilmaley, and I suppose all we can do is thank them for what was an excellent last 2 hours or so of entertainment. So for anybody interested, we will be on air at 4:15 for the intermediate hurling final, and you can tune in and join us then for Scariff v